And we made it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PowerPoint party. Are we late?
Yay.
No, not at all. Hello. I'm joined by some lovely guests. Marsha's talking to her chat right now, and she was muted, so it's taking up. But I also have the lovely Mari here and the lovely Bella. If you guys want to introduce yourselves,
Hi.
Hi.
great introductions, guys. I know everything about you.
I was like, do you want my idol intro or just a hi?
I would love an idol intro. I'm gonna put on some music so we're not just talking into the void. I think that would be nice. Give me a minute. Cool, we've got some chill musics. Okay. Yes, I'd love an idol intro.
Oh my god, okay. Good morning, good evening, everything in between. My name is Marielle Aurelia, Keeper of the Flames, and your beloved blazing idol. It is a pleasure to meet you all today.
Oh, so
Okay.
cute.
Oh my god.
The
That's
pressure's
so
on
good.
Bella.
Okay, look, here's an important thing to know about me. When you said hello, when you introduced, you were like, hello, here we are. I waved. I'm not on camera. So that's one thing about me is I'm normally on camera, and I think that makes up for me not knowing how to speak. But anyways, hi, I'm Bella. My username is not Bella, and I love books, and I love games, and I love yapping. And today I won't be talking about any of those things, but it's gonna be fun.
Last time, I'm excited. Last time, both of you gave us very informational PowerPoint,
Yes.
and I'm excited to see more.
Absolutely.
And more.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love information, so.
Oh my god, me too. But I don't think it loves me. So not Bella is Bella. That is correct. That's correct. Hello everyone.
Yes.
Also, I'm Camille. Normally I have hair. I am the VTuber with the throbbing egghead. Yes, and I host those PowerPoint parties, because they're fun. And today I'm going first, which is stressful. Oh, we have Matcha as well. Oh my god, they fucked up my hair. Matcha has just joined us as well. Matcha, would you
Hi.
like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I am Matcha Maeve. You can call me Matcha or me. I am a office lady, dragon, VTuber, streamer, something part-time goblin, full-time gremlin. I'm excited to be here.
Pure part dumb of us.
Yes, thank you for a part of us. Thanks, Camille.
Very important, very important. Yes. So we have everyone. Two people unfortunately couldn't make it. Nia's cat got injured, unfortunately. So Nia has to take care of the cat. And Fran is unwell. Fran is unwell today. So please send Fran your well wishes as well as to Nia's cat. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. We've got 4 presentations today. I wasted hours of my life on my
Same.
The only thing that stuck with me is full-time gremlin. It's important. It's important.
It's my brand. It's who I am.
Yeah.
Please don't judge me for that. Thank you.
No judgment. First, before we start, do you guys prefer if we stay muted during presentations, or do you want people to interject and ask questions during your presentations?
I want to hear everything that people say
Yes.
during my presentation. I want to
Mine
hear live
requires
reactions.
participation.
Oh, okay.
Incredible.
Ooh, okay.
Nice. No, you're thinking of Fufu, Zara. Fron is not Fufu. Fron is like Fronya. You know Fronya. Okay, I'll get started on mine then. I'm the same. Please feel free to interject, and I'm actually gonna mute the music on my side because I just realized I have sound on mine. I recommend you guys on the call also like open the presentation that I'm sharing on Discord if you haven't, because then you can watch it without a delay.
Oh, huge. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, this one has sound. So. Oh boy. Okay. Struggling with my 5,000 windows. That's co-working, that's my hands and my body. PowerPoint, here we go. Okay. Today, guys, I'm gonna talk to you about Hamilton. Hamilton is a musical, and you might have heard about it. I think everyone has heard of Hamilton before, right? I mean, it's quite famous. Wait a second.
Oh no.
What's this?
Oh?
Oh, wait, guys, something seems to have happened to my presentation. Hold on. Scamilton? Is this a scam?
Camille is real.
Camille is real. Oh, well, I seem to have made a mistake, guys. This presentation is not about Hamilton. It is about Scamilton. But let's, I made this slide thinking this was gonna be about Hamilton, so this is really, really awkward right now. What's Hamilton? Let's start with that. So, it's Hamilton, an American musical. It's about Hamilton, the man. It premiered in 2025. It's like an R&B/pop/soul type musical, so it's quite modern and all. It won like 11 Tony Awards and was nominated 16 times, which is the second most Tony Awards anyone ever won. To be fair,
Wow.
some of them were nominated, like they had several people nominated for the same award, so the most it could have won was like 13. The producers that was made in 2001 had 12 wins, so that's the only one that had more. The music is woke. The musical is woke. This is really relevant, okay? You need to know it is woke. Also, no amateur licenses were granted for this show as of yet. This is also really, really relevant. Now, you might be asking...
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask a question.
What is an amateur license?
That is, if I, for example, was like, hey, guys, I'd like to perform Hamilton with my youth theater, I'd have to apply for a license and pay money, and then I would legally be allowed to produce Hamilton.
Right, scrubs allowed in Hamilton.
Exactly.
And they're so expensive.
They're very expensive, and right now we're not allowed to do it because Hamilton is very conscious of its image and the way it wants to be portrayed.
I see.
Yes, so you'll see like the West
Just
End
like
and stuff.
me.
It's just like...
Just kidding. Not like me at all. Okay.
So you might be wondering, what the hell is Scamilton? Now, it's it is a play that was put on by the Door Christian Fellowship in McAllen, Texas. They called it half the play Spiritual Revolution. As you can tell, this was not a professional play, and an illegal representation of Hamilton. They did not get a license. Yes, they performed it twice. It was live streamed once in 2022. Of course, it's Texas. It's always fucking Texas.
It's always Texas.
It's always Texas.
Literally.
They're also repeat offenders of this crime because they also did Despicable Me, Toy Story, Beauty and the Beast, The Greatest Showman, and Elf illegally without any license.
I really want to see Despicable Me.
Okay, but
Me too.
at least they have
Despicable
taste.
Me.
They have taste.
That's a good.
They have taste.
That's a good selection.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
right?
break the law, do it for Despicable Me. Anyways,
Yeah.
Iconic. And Elf. I'm really intrigued about Elf. And as you might think, Spiritual Revolution Hamilton is not quite the same as normal Hamilton. That is to say, notable changes were made to the show. As to the type of changes, so this was the Door Christian Fellowship is they're a Pentecostal Christian organization based in the US, and they have strong beliefs that they were trying to portray through Hamilton. So today, I want to talk you through Scamilton, as it's often referred to, which is their presentation of Hamilton and the changes they have made. There we go. So, the first thing is that it's really bad.
no.
It's really, really bad. And usually
No.
I'm not one to knock amateur productions, even if they're illegal, because licenses are very expensive. But you'll understand. So, first of all, there's 46 songs in Hamilton. They cut 12 of them.
Oh my god.
Which is a lot of songs to be cutting out of 46. Some notable mentions are The Story of Tonight and The Reprise, and Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us, which is basically the same song 3 times. Probably, I think, because they drink alcohol in it, so not great. Yeah, nothing ever bad happened when strongly religious groups produce plays. Nothing. Stay Alive was cut. Dear Theodosia was cut, which was confusing because Dear Theodosia is a lovingly sung duet between two fathers and their newborn babies. So the babies don't sing, but it's about two new fathers, thinking about what it means to be a father and thinking about how they will raise their children. It's a very loving song. I think it quite aligns to their values. I think the reason it got cut is because it's all sung in harmonies, which makes it very difficult. The room where it happens is just probably one of the best songs in it. Got cut, probably because, again, it's very difficult, but it also means that one of the, like, arcs of one of the characters makes no sense. Same with Skull Defeated.
That's like an integral song.
Yes, very integral. Same with Skull Defeated.
Who needs
Doesn't
pop?
happen. Cabinet Battle, choose a rap battle. Cut as well, probably too difficult. As well as Hurricane, in which Hamilton, after something happens, basically says, I wasn't saved by God. I saved myself. So they probably didn't really like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe, you know, the harmonies were too heretical. Maybe. Yeah, no one's ever drunk alcohol or wine in the Bible. But they were quite drunk, though. I've got here a few examples
Oh, wow.
of Hamilton. And I'm gonna ask you guys,
more
I'm so excited.
yeah, to cover your ears, because it's gonna be very unpleasant and quite loud. Now,
Yes.
comments about the first
I'm
one.
so excited.
Remember how I said harmonies are hard?
Yes.
Not a harmony in sight. It's quite loud.
Oh.
And there's not a single harmony in sight.
It's giving primary school nativity play.
It really is. Please,
It's not good, but also I wouldn't do any better, and so I have nothing to say.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
same.
aren't auditioning for this play, are you?
That's
You know
very
what?
true.
We've got
I was a musical theater teacher. I'll say it. That was tragic.
that was very,
Oh.
very sad. We've got some more examples in case it wasn't, you know, if you need more convincing.
Oh, okay, that's rough. That's rough.
Oh no!
Started so strong. Started so strong.
Right, it was
That's
actually
right.
kind of good.
And then they all just
They have
faked.
one talent, one person of talent.
It just fell apart very quickly. Yeah, it started so good, and then we've got another example here.
Surprise you guys, 'cause I wrote 'em. Ow, but Hamilton forgets. This plan would have the
Just ow, which that is how I feel, to be fair. This one, the next one is somehow very loud, but also very quiet at the same time, which is hard to achieve.
fools who run their mouths off, wind up dead. Yo, what time is it? Showtime. Showtime. I'm Jean.
So
Wow.
the vocal balance is lacking. I'm just tapping my toe. Ow!
Oh my god!
Very good.
Recorded the audio with like this headphones used to get in the old iPhones. Like, the really terrible one.
I also like this one because Angelica really is trying, but everyone's making it super, super difficult for her. So,
Oh no.
girl is
God.
fighting for her life. She's trying. She's really
Yeah.
trying.
Her back must hurt from carrying this so hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's carrying this entire.
Yeah.
She really is trying very, very hard. So, oh no! That they want to play. Okay, hold on. Let me. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Okay. Now this one, to be honest, Hamilton in the entire play does a pretty good job, and this is a difficult role. So kudos to the guy who plays Hamilton. Now, Hamilton is trying to say his own name in this, but it doesn't go very well. Please see.
Sir, well, that depends. Who's asking? Oh, well, sure, sir. I'm Alexander Hamilton. I'm at your service, sir. I have.
So that's rough. That's pretty rough. No, I stumbled upon it in a 2-hour video essay. Oh no, it's gonna play again. Okay, I need to do this differently. Okay, the guy who plays Aaron Burr, who is, for those of you who don't know, the main competitor. He's like the rival, you know, he's his rival. He does a great job, but he always looks like he's about to cry.
Me too, man.
I find him very
That's
relatable.
really real.
He plays and he raises.
Oh, he does. He looks so sad.
Driving so few surviving. Gosh darn it, I'm winning
Did he just say gosh darn it instead god damn it?
Yes. Yes.
Hang on.
Well
Did
spotted.
they censor god damn it?
Well spotted.
No way!
So, man, it is an emotional song, to be fair. Man's on the border of tears, about to cry, sing his little heart out, and he really hits the gosh darn it!
Dang, Flebbit.
Tarnation.
I think there's no sentence that can't be improved by a gosh darn it. Do you know what I mean?
Gosh darn it, just
that
really hits.
fixes anything.
Really hits. And to be fair, this is an emotional song, but he does always kind of look like this. Like he's about to cry. Bless him. Then we've got the ensemble, which is a bit younger than the main cast, so I'm not gonna really focus on them. But clearly they're having a struggle with the choreo. It should be noted they entirely ripped off the original choreo, which is quite frowned upon in theater, but you know, we're already so far. But clearly they didn't make any effort to simplify this very difficult choreo for the poor ensemble. Please watch. Also,
There's so
note
much going on. I don't know what to focus on.
they are meant to
So
be in
much happening.
sync.
They would not.
It's
Absolutely not.
emotional torture.
They also all look very disinterested. They don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say, I feel like you could. The choreography, I feel like of all of Hamilton must be so challenging.
It's
It's like
really
literally
hard.
a professional show.
Mm-mm.
So, but like
Yes.
even just committing, if you do like a moderately bad job, but you commit, I do feel as though this could have been something else. I don't know.
But they all look
I
like
don't
they're
know.
about
I'm
to
not a
fall asleep.
professional. Yeah, they're like,
Right.
I know the moves, but I refuse.
Yeah.
They sound so monotone as well. Like, I don't know anything about singing, but I think they should sound maybe a little bit more excited than that.
Yeah, like you're in Hamilton. Cheer up.
Yeah.
These youths are not excited about the illegal theft of creative
Yeah,
work that
actually,
they're
camera angles are
committing.
just so dry as well.
Ugh,
It's really
rough.
giving they're spending so much trying to think about the dancing that they can't hold the singing, but then they can't hold the singing because they can't hold the dance. Because like Hamilton is really challenging.
It's rough.
choreo.
It is. I don't know, how difficult Despicable Me or Elf is, but Hamilton's pretty rough. All of this is fine. Fine is a strong word, but all of this pales in comparison to the worst offender in the lot, King George.
Oh. Huh.
Yes.
So here's a screenshot of King George on his
Love
phone.
him.
So,
Oh yeah, love him.
I didn't even notice that.
so that's pretty rough. He's
Is
on
he
his-
reading the lines or something from his phone?
so that's him doing the pre-show announcement of please turn off your phones,
Oh.
which is rough. But worse, he is notably older than everyone else, and I'll just show it to you. I think that will make more sense.
It's much harder when it's on your gone. Wonderfully armed, but
Honestly.
remind you of my love. Da-da.
So, in case you're not
Kinda
familiar,
sing, I'm not gonna lie. That wasn't terrible.
in case you're not familiar, there's not supposed to be a long pause in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah.
You just forgot
yeah,
the
no,
lyrics.
they straight up forgot a whole here.
It looked like he was like, you know what? I'm gonna skip over these because I have some gum that I really need to pay attention
Yeah.
to.
So
Yeah, that was really weird.
he forgot the lyrics. Please note he's also chewing gum. I'll play it again in case it wasn't visible.
Harder when it's on your gone.
Which is
Wonderfully armed, but
why.
remind you of my love. Da-da.
And you might be thinking,
Wow.
Hamilton's a long show. It's difficult, This man only has 3 songs in the entire musical. One of them was cut. So he only had
And now we know
my
why.
Bro really is doing the bare minimum.
bare
I kind of
minimum.
respect it, I'm not gonna lie.
So he has 2 songs. That are, by the way, the same melody. It's just the lyrics that change.
Okay, but was he paid? Because if I were forced to do this and I wasn't paid, that might be what my performance looked like.
Your reward is spreading the word of God.
Yeah.
Oh, so true. I did forget about God. That's
How could you?
You know what? Yeah, sorry.
Also, this isn't bad. I just thought that was funny. That made me laugh.
Wait, hang on. Can we see that again, please?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
It's just
I'm sorry, I'm like looking at the person at the bottom as well,
Yeah,
who
the
was
kid
just
is
like,
holding it.
out with it.
I love going on in this shot. It's not me. Terrible, but it's
Actually,
really fun.
both of them are me in Fortnite at different moments.
So that shot really got me. So, not to be a hater, but all of this happens. It's pretty rough. Anyway, I see you guys have forgotten this was meant to be about God. Don't worry, let me remind you. Let me remind you. So the power of Christ does compel you. So, all in all, the musical was made to be very preachy. A lot of lines are replaced with other lines about God. This wasn't a comedy. I think it's meant to be a tragedy. Yes. See.
Eliza.
Oh wait, that was meant to play after.
But I'm not afraid. My hope is in Jesus. If you could just give him a chance today, that would be enough.
If you're not familiar, the line is, "I'm not afraid. I know who I married." No. Not in
My
Scamilton.
hope is in Jesus.
My hope is in Jesus. It just rolls off the tongue.
It's how they fit it in as well. Like you can tell it's not meant to have that many syllables.
Just doesn't roll off the tongue. And this is Hampton's response, which I do agree with.
Eliza. God is not who I need right now. I'm fine on my own.
Damn.
God is not who I need right now.
Yeah,
It's pretty rough.
good one.
This is another. Eliza's entire character arc was to be made about Jesus. This is at the end of the musical, where she announces that she has helped found the first private orphanage in New York City, and she helped raise hundreds of children. Now let's see what this Eliza did for us.
I established the first private orphanage in New York City. The orphanage. I introduced hundreds of children to Jesus as they're growing up.
No.
Oh.
Yep.
No.
We introduced hundreds of children to Jesus as they're growing up. It really rolls off the tongue as well. That was
It fits so badly.
pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
I also like to think that they didn't focus on, the orphanage helping children, giving them homes, giving them food. It's like, no, we didn't do any of that. We just told them about Jesus. That's enough.
If you know about Jesus, then nothing can hurt you ever, not even hunger.
Exactly.
Not
right?
even hunger.
Yeah.
They don't
Right,
need
right.
they don't need to eat if they just follow Jesus.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. Mhm.
Just pray more if you're homeless. Duh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus is your home. Easy peasy. It gets much more overt than that as well. We have some really subtle lines like, "I introduced hundreds of children to Jesus," but sometimes they get more overt in case you didn't get the message. So, for context, Hamilton's child dies in the duel. It's a very sad, tragic part of his life. It really defines him as a person, and the entire scene. You see a young man die. It's very, very harrowing. It's very sad. And- It's tragic. But they actually play the scene really, really well. DMs. Okay, or mod chat. Okay, give me a second. Okay, my YouTube chat is acting up. I will fix it after
Oopies.
my presentation. Thank you for letting me know, mods. Okay.
We're learning about Jesus right now, YouTube chat. This
Yeah,
is more
YouTube chat
important.
needs to know
Please,
about,
YouTube.
about Jesus.
Please.
So after this very tragic moment of where his son dies, we get this man.
We all go through difficult times in life, and only God can help us pull through. God is the only one that can help you right now. And
Oh my God.
If
His
you
son has just
Yeah.
died.
Also, if you've seen Hamilton, you might be
perfect time.
thinking, who the fuck is this? That is not a character in Hamilton.
Yeah.
They introduced a new character in between songs to come out to Hamilton and preach to him.
It's
They
him,
have
John
a
Hamilton.
preacher RC. They introduced their RC into canon.
They did.
Honestly, on brand. On brand
On
for
brand.
religious anything.
Dedication, but completely out of pocket. Also, at the end, spoiler alert, Hamilton dies. He gets shot in a duel by Aaron Burr, his rival. And at the end, we have learned about the orphanage and the hundreds of children that get introduced to Jesus. Hamilton shows up on stage again to impart a very important message.
I know I did. And I give thanks to Jesus Christ who resides in me. And remember, the choice is yours. And it's only a matter of time.
So,
Oh god.
he comes up on stage to repent about his past actions and, tell us to believe in Jesus. Man, you are dead.
He said Jesus Christ resides in me. Did they make Hamilton a Jesus Kinney in this? Because that's crazy.
That'd be so funny. Oh yes. Now, as you can see, a lot of things were added, and some things were removed. Gosh darn, But some things were weirdly not left in the musical. Now, remember how I said the musical's woke? Somehow they left things I don't understand why.
Right, me laughing at my sister 'cause she wants to form a harem. I'm just saying, if you really love me, you would share 'em. Ha!
So they kept the harem joke.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa,
That's
whoa.
an interesting one to keep in.
Well, but that's just
actually.
about, I mean, just consider, that's about, women. What are they anyways? You know what I'm saying?
What's a woman?
Jesus loves polyamory.
Jesus for
Maybe
polyamory.
they couldn't
thank you.
figure out a way to swap it.
Well, sometimes they get quite creative, and we will get to that.
Oh,
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel. Words!
So,
Whoa. Wait a second. I thought we
That
just
kinda
established
ate,
during the
actually.
harem.
I know.
Also, can I, for one moment, the angle of the camera during that choreography, I truly was like, why does she have a second set of arms? Why? I don't know if that was just me, but I
Let's
missed
watch it
the
again.
first, 3 seconds. Look.
Yes, that is confusing.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god. It scared the shit out of me.
Women in the sequel. Words!
Hi, Julie. Yes. Women, what are they anyways? Well, work. So,
Girl.
so that's a
Wow.
Christian version of Star Trek. Legalistic Spock character went crazy and blew up the ship because he didn't believe in God. Amazing. Incredible.
Was that the same people that did there was also a Batman one, wasn't there?
That sounds
And
incredible.
isn't that the one that there is a whole video essay about that company and their ones?
Amazing. Wow.
I think I know which one they're talking about.
Incredible.
Okay, maybe this church is actually secretly woke.
Maybe.
Specifically about these two things, women's rights and harems.
And this.
We're finally on the field. We've had quite a run. Immigrants, we get the job done.
So they're also
Whoa,
pro-immigration.
based.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, church. I didn't
Dang.
know you fucked like that. Like, damn.
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
my Jesus.
This one, I understand why they left in, but it is funny to me.
I came from afar just to say bonsoir, tell the king, que c'est toi who's the best, c'est moi.
Now, for those of you who don't speak French, casse-toi means fuck off.
Obsessed with them just never looking it up.
Didn't know what it meant.
Did they know?
So they clearly didn't know. But that made me laugh.
Fuck off, King George. Jesus is my king.
This town's literally on the southern border. They know all about immigration. Anyway, so
that's fair.
so we've talked about the vocal issues. We've talked about some of the preachiness. Now let's focus on some of the technical issues because you might think the actors okay, production. The tech team was also not on duty. sometimes the lights seem to be missing.
There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so true.
Where's the lights?
The lights are so sleepy. Please let them nap.
Let them
There
nap.
were no lights when this was filmed. It's just candles. There was no electricity.
They couldn't afford it. Cost of living
The
crisis.
set design and honestly even the costumes are like so decent for
Yeah,
for than that.
but we can't see it. We can't see it. No lights. Yeah, it helps the imagination, just your immersion, you know?
Maybe it would be a lot better if you couldn't see.
Maybe. Here's also
Oh my god.
someone absolutely losing their shit and someone doing flips, but you can't really see it.
Taking this horse for the range, making red coats red with blood stains. And I'm never gonna
Where is he? Where is Lafayette?
Escaping them and erasing them.
Oh, here he is!
Oh.
He just spawned. What the hell?
Maybe it's a metaphor. Sometimes they also forget about the microphones. Any silences you hear there, someone's meant to be singing, and they are. You just can't hear it.
But just you wait, just you wait.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can hear them like really faintly.
Yeah, like
Oh
a
no,
ghost.
this is,
And they're also crushing it. They're eating it up and you can't hear them.
Yeah, they were doing
Right?
great. They were doing great.
Heartbreaking.
This one's even more egregious.
damn.
What
I
is
would have
happening?
sued for that. She was eating that.
What
Also, I
happened?
feel like there's someone who's not eating respectfully, and their mic is so
So
loud.
loud.
Yeah.
Someone is controlling the microphone levels. Like, oh, I am gonna tear you all to shreds.
It's like, I
Just-
hate
Someone
this
has a
person.
favorite.
Yes, and it's not the good singer.
Yeah.
There's more, unfortunately.
Stay, treasury or stay.
Mew, and I have to get it on mute before
Sir,
starting
you want me to
stream.
run the Treasury or State Department? Let's go.
Just want
Wait. Oh.
No, nothing. And the last one.
Beg, steal, borrow, or barter.
Oh.
Oh,
You hate to see it.
You hate-
hate to
Tragic.
see it.
And we hate to not hear it, because clearly we can.
They're just a small indie production. Please understand.
That's how they said it. Yeah, how did this come together? Like, what happened?
the book.
What happened? I've spent a lot of time slagging this off, but sometimes we've got some really good acting gems. Here, this man acted his heart out, and I only can think this comes from some daddy issues.
Die and we need you
I
alive.
am more than willing to die.
Your wife needs you alive, son. I need you
Probably son,
alive.
one more time.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
God, it's so hard. Like,
What the
he
hell?
meant
The emotion is crazy.
They really tapped into something there, I think, you know?
Yeah.
The crash out was insane.
he lost it. He wasn't
Because
acting
we
for us.
studied.
Incredible. This was performed twice. Twice. And then this gives the same vibe as he said calmly, but like the opposite.
Ah.
We lower our guns as he frantically waves a white handkerchief.
He's frantically waving it, guys. He's frantically waving. It's like, yeah, sorry, dude. I don't know.
Internally, he's frantic. But
Internally. But externally, calm. And last but not least, let's look in some more creative ways they censored the musical, because there's some real bangers in there. So this is the first line of the musical, the very, very first line, which is, how does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore, and a Scotsman? You can see how there's some words there that the church might not like. There's a few.
How does a scoundrel, orphan, son of a harlot and a Scotsman?
no,
harlot.
not son of a harlot. No,
so-
no.
Whimsical.
I can't believe they didn't censor Scotsman. That's arguably worse. That's crazy.
Was the first word scoundrel? Because actually,
Yes.
that does
Yeah.
How does a
that one's good.
scoundrel, orphan, son of a harlot? And it also changes the first rhyme. It doesn't rhyme,
Yeah.
which is really
And Harlot has more
okay.
syllables than
Yes.
the original.
Harlot
Yeah.
just brings me so much joy. I love when they really hit the son of a harlot. That peak.
Yeah.
Peak. This one's my personal favorite because it's very subtle. Now, Thomas Jefferson shows up, and he is introduced with the line, "You haven't met him yet, you haven't had the chance, because he's been kicking ass as the ambassador to France."
Bars.
Now, bars. And he's been kicking ass as the ambassador to France. Now, let's see what they did with this.
System. You haven't met him yet, you haven't had the chance, because he's been throwing hands with the ambassador of France. But
Now,
No.
the very astute
No way.
and observant, well, amongst you, I don't notice.
Why with?
Yes, he says,
Ugh.
I've been throwing hands, or he's been throwing hands, which, okay, with the ambassador to France.
As was right there.
Let's see, who was the ambassador to France in that time?
Me when I have to fight my internal demons.
Trust no one, not
I
even
was working
yourself.
through something at the time.
He was going through it. He was throwing hands. Okay,
He just has to believe in Jesus more. And then he wouldn't have to throw hands with himself.
clearly his problem. Now, this one is very good as well. The line here is, "Damn, you worshipped in the national denizen, sitting there useless as two shits. Turn around, bend over, I'll show you where my shoe fits." Very good line.
sitting there useless, my shoe fits. Hey, turn around, it's over, or I will leave your mouth toothless.
Excuse me.
What?
Oh my
Why
lord.
even say my
mean?
shoe fits? Why?
Yeah.
What is that doing there?
What does that have to do with anything?
Toothless. Just really.
Toothless actually is good. I'm totally I'm so pro toothless, but it just feels like this could have been rearranged better.
It's very clunky. It's very yeah. Throwing hands could have worked well, and then they just fucked it up. You know. I will stop hitting yourself. Yes. Again, another one that just doesn't roll off the tongue very well. They really need to censor the word fuck.
Hercules fall again. I need no introduction. When he knocked me down, I put myself back up.
Damn.
Just not.
Okay. All right.
Just, not amazing. Now, in conclusion, what have we learned from this? Oh, wait a second. We thought it was over. What is this? What is this?
Man, God sees those. Yes, come to the front, amen. If you didn't raise your hand, but you want to pray, you want to receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, just come to the front, amen. We're going to pray with you this evening.
He's
amen.
breaking
We have
the
people that
fourth
are ready to
wall.
pray. We have this young man, amen.
Now-
gonna pray.
You might notice from this, the show was not concluded with a curtain call, but with a sermon given by a pastor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
He then goes on.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together. He then compares Alexander Hamilton to King David. He goes demonizing homosexuality. He compares it to compares the show to marital problems, alcoholism, drug addiction, financial problems, and relationship issues, and explains to you how like God can help you with all of these.
Did he watch it? Did he watch the performance?
I'm not sure. Now you might be
I
wondering.
get the scam part now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
that.
Also, there's one bit I didn't include, and I should have. But it's "Say No to This," which is the song in which Hampton cheats on his wife. First of all, normally they use the actress for Peggy, which is like one of the sisters, to be Mariah, the woman he cheats with. But they used the same actress as Eliza to just put a wig on her. I then found out it's because they're actually married in real life, and it would be frowned upon if he kissed another woman.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so it's just Eliza with a wig. And
Wow.
they also just kind of cut to black and cut the entire part where he gets blackmailed to pay money to her husband. And so it doesn't really make any sense when he then destroys his entire career by outing himself in the papers, admitting to his affair. So that was a thing. Anyway, is Scamilton worth your time? No, I'm never getting those 2 hours of my life back. Just watch Hamilton. It's on Disney Plus.
I don't think I need to watch Hamilton now. I think I get it.
Yeah,
I
you've
think this was a
s-
really
seen
good representation. Thank you.
It's the same takeaway, right?
Right? Yeah.
So now we know all about Scamilton. I spent like 2-3 hours watching this and cutting it into clips for this. I'm never getting this time back in my life.
How much psychic
We thank
damage
you
did
for
you
your
take watching
service.
this?
Just so much. Oh my god. The worst part is I had seen it, most of it before, but I downloaded it and
Oh.
rewatched it to prepare this presentation.
Incredible.
Camille, the Scamilton fan, I knew it.
It was
Yeah.
intense. Do we have any questions?
Did they
I
make money off of this?
I
yeah.
don't think
Or was
so.
it just like to get people to go to church?
I think it was just like a church event.
Dang. I mean, committed to whatever, but
To
dang.
Jesus.
Yeah, people are
Yeah,
asking
to
why
Jesus,
just
that's
for
right, I
Jesus, for
forgot.
Jesus. Yeah.
That's wild to me. Like, this is so much work to, like, I cannot, some of those kids were really dedicated to
Yeah.
do that and not get paid. I feel like you have opened a bigger can of worms, which is that I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I think churches are scams.
Damn.
Damn.
Low-key.
I mean,
Fair point.
agree or don't, but like, can you imagine how much work all of these people did for this? And like,
Yeah.
anyways, that's wild. That's wild.
It's pretty intense. I will say that.
If they were like a theatre troupe or like attached to the church or something, that'd be one thing. But it seems like these kids or these people just did not want to be there, most of them. Like they did not know what they signed up for.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wild.
A lot of them didn't look like they wanted to be here.
My question is, how did you find this?
I remember there was a like really long video essay about it that showed up on my what's it called? On my timeline on my YouTube. And I watched the entire essay and I was like mind blown how this could have happened.
Amazing.
They were forced by their parents. Well, some of them are adults. But yes, I came across it, like this was years ago. I came across a TikTok of it recently and I was reminded of it. And I was like, oh, you know what? This is good for a PowerPoint. Isn't your top 3 musicals Hamilton or Scamilton? Either way, no.
Why not both? There are 3 spots in your top 3.
Yeah.
Which one would be first?
Scamilton, Hamilton, and then the Despicable Me knockoff.
Oh, I wish there was
No,
a
I
recording of that.
I think Scamilton is second, Hamilton is third, and first is Jesus because he comes before everything.
That's so true, yeah.
You know
For
what?
real.
So true.
So true. But to be fair, again, some of them
You guys
did a
want to
great job.
knock off another musical with me? Just wondering. I just had this idea. We could just steal a musical and then turn it into Jesus. Thoughts on that? Anyone interested?
Which one would be a good
Oh my
one?
god, Heathers!
Yeah. The most
Yeah.
family-friendly musical, obviously.
Yeah, that's
You can
actually
definitely make that
so
fun for the family.
doable. That's so
Or
doable.
Shrek
And I won't
the
pay you.
musical as well.
Oh my god,
There's
that'd be
no
amazing.
money to be made, but just consider Jesus.
Wait, isn't
Right.
Heather's the one with the blue ball song?
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it sure
God.
is.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we can make this work. No, we can make this work.
I believe.
make
I
this
just
work.
remember the murder in that one, so.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Just turn that
But I feel like that'll
specific
be
song
fine.
into like "You Make Me Want to Pray." Like there you go.
Amazing. What do we do about my dead gay son?
Mm. Maybe
My
that's
dead
okay.
woke
Honey,
son.
we just have to like. I love my dead work son is insane.
Oh my gosh, I do think we're cooking. I think we're cooking.
Yeah. Somebody get the script illegally, of course, and we'll start edits immediately.
Yeah, that will
For
be the
legal
next
reasons,
PowerPoint.
this is a joke.
Yeah.
Mr. Twitch, are you listening? This is a joke.
Please don't sue
I
us.
love
Religious
the
reasons,
law.
this is also a joke.
My 2 favorite things are the law and Jesus, please.
Oh. I'm not afraid. I believe in Jesus. It's iconic. There's a full version of it on YouTube, so if anyone wants to actually watch it.
Oh my god. Do you think it's monetized? Certainly not. There's no
I think
way,
it's a re-upload, so I think I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the name of the Son and the Holy Spirit and Jeff Bezos, amen. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. I meant all of this in Minecraft. I want to steal a script in Minecraft, not in real life, obviously.
Clearly.
You perform Hamilton without an amateur license in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
with note blocks.
I am amazed by the effort I put into this. But yeah, that's
That was
Hamilton.
incredible.
Yeah, I hope you learned more about the word of Jesus. And
I did.
Yeah, we'll get ready for our next presentation. I'm gonna close this down. Okay. Who is up next? Schedule it. Oh, it's you, Masha.
Oh boy, okay. Okay.
My favorite skeleton presentation of all time. Well, but I'm so sad you missed the one I did of the legally distinct Garfield plushie. Okay, that's me. You rewatched the stream? Oh, that was my favorite presentation. Who do you think I am? I'm sorry, Wavo. I underestimated your epic friendship. Okay. Share your screen whenever you're ready, and we'll get that. I am looking forward to it. I don't know what yours is about, so I'm excited.
Can everybody see my screen?
I can.
Oh my God.
It's loading. Yeah. Oh, wow, okay.
So,
let me resize that really quickly. Hold on. So we don't see your browser URL. Holy fuck. Okay, guys.
Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. So I wanted to present to you guys something that has been one of my brain rots for probably around the last 10 years. It's something I've fallen out of before. I've fallen out of within a few years, but it's still something that lives rent-free in my head. It is Idolmaster Sidem, or alternative title is Buff Giro, A Legacy. So
10 out of 10
what
already.
the hell is this? Let's get going. First, I'll give you an introduction to Idolmaster as a whole, as setting the scene for this. So basically, Idolmaster is a multimedia project about idols. It is about people who want to become singers, want to become performers, all from all kind of various walks of life. It started in 2005 as kind of like a simulation, kind of raising game for the PS2. You'd get to know the characters, you'd raise their stats, and you'd watch them perform, and you would make them into amazing performers and amazing idols. If you're not too familiar with this, it's a little bit like the K-pop side, but more anime.
Love Idolmaster.
So think of it like that. Basically, you would play as a producer or a talent manager of a group of aspiring female idols. Also referred to as 765 production. Idolmaster has this thing where it's like all of the companies are like 3-digit numbers. So 765 is the first one, and the one that we're going to focus on is 315, which is the Sidem production. It was very successful in Japan, and since the first 765 branch, it had multiple spin-offs, each focusing on different characters within kind of like a different niche, but all within the same universe. So, for example, we have 346, which was Cinderella Girls, which was just focused on having a ton of characters and from various different kind of age groups and stuff like that, and becoming Cinderellas, so becoming kind of princessy, cutesy idols. And also 283, which is Shiny Colours, which is one of the newest branches, and that was kind of like a similar take, just focused on a smaller group of idols within smaller subunits. And then, like I mentioned, we have 315, which is the Sidem series and the only Idolmaster franchise to have male characters. You can see here, I've pointed them out very nicely, the protagonist. It makes me laugh whenever they do official art because there's all these cute girls and then just a bearded man.
Who the hell is that?
I love that he has the same outfit though.
Yeah.
Right? They really make him feel like one of the family. And he also has the same kind of like hair colour. Like he really is protagonist.
I love that.
He might be a man, but he is a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's one of the girls.
Equality.
The
There's even 3 men in this one. There's this guy here who's also Sidem, and this guy here who is also Sidem. I know you can't see my cursor, but look at the men. The men are there.
Also, I love that they're hidden in the back.
Right. Oh, that's a theme. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that.
Hi, sir.
So, while I'm here, I just want to shout out my other favourite Idolmaster characters. I have to mention my girls. We have, in the top, from right to left, we have Aiko Takamori from Cinderella Girls. She likes flowers. She's very cute and sweet. We have Miki Hoshi from 765. She is my OG favourite from the original series. Ayumu Maihama she's also from 765, but she's from a branch called Million Live, which just adds more characters, basically. She's probably the most unpopular character in the franchise, but she's my favorite. I will defend her until I die.
Wait, why?
She's done nothing wrong.
Wait,
I
she's
honestly don't
unpopular?
know. Right, yeah, she's really unpopular.
What?
I think it's just her design. Like, her whole kind of thing is that she looks like very eccentric and like very kind of gyaru a little bit, but she's actually really shy and really sweet. And I just really like that. But people, I don't know, people just don't like her. I think it's the hair. I think her hair is probably a bit too out there for people, but she's so cute.
Literally,
Right.
the second she was on screen, it was like, oh, yep, you're my favorite. Come
Yeah,
here.
the second I saw her, I was like, yeah, you're my favorite. You're my daughter now. I don't get why people don't like her, but yes, I love her. And then in the bottom right corner is Yuika Mitsumine from Shiny Colors, who is just goofy, and I like her. I like yellow, and I like goofy characters, and I like Aiko because she likes flowers. That is my brand, basically.
That's so
But yeah,
fair.
just a quick shout out to my girls before we get into the men.
Oh my god.
So
There's so many of them.
Wow.
this isn't even all of them. This is only about half of them that were included in the anime. The other half just didn't get included in it. But again,
That's
we'll talk
rough.
about that. Right. But yes, Sidem, I been into Sidem for the best part of like probably about 10 years, since like 2015, so quite quickly after it started. When it first started, it started as a browser-based mobile game, referred to now as the Mobage, or Mobage, basically. So it was like a little kind of game that you would have to go to a Japanese website to play. You'd have to make an account with this fully Japanese system. So if you didn't speak any Japanese, then it was hell to make an account with and actually do things with.
That's
It was basically like a card collecting and stat raising game, with some stories spaced in as well. So it was one of the very first kind of idol mobile games. You know how you've got like Love Live School Idol Festival, Ensemble Stars, if you've heard of that.
Yes.
It was a very, very early version of those. There was no like live shows or anything like that. You would just collect cards, you would battle them against other players, kind of like top trumps a little bit. So whoever had the strongest cards would win. And you could trade cards between people as well. And you could watch the stories with the idols. Again, fully in Japanese, so we had to rely on like fan translations online. But yeah, fun fact actually, when the mobile game launched in 2014, it had to shut down one day afterwards because they got more players than expected. And they didn't open it again for another 6 months.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh my god.
that's also going to be a theme. That's really cool of them to do that.
Wild.
It was originally kind of made up of only 16 characters within 5 units. If I get back a slide, this is these 16 here. These are the original ones. They then kind of gradually added more and more characters through a mixture of like fan votes and I guess they called them elections, where you could pick from like 9 characters and they would add 3 at a time based on who was the most popular. So a little bit of a bloodbath, a little bit people arguing over which character should be included, and the other ones were just removed from the face of the universe and never seen again.
I'm sure people are real chill about that.
Yeah, people are really normal about these kind of things, which you'll again find out a little bit later. In total, there have been 3 mobile games for Sidem. There was the Mobage, which was formed in 2014, died in 2021. There was a game called Live on Stage, which came out in 2017 and died in 2022. And a game called Growing Stars, which came out in 2021 and died in 2023. So we only got 2 years of actual support, 1 point. Very sad. I'm not salty about this at all. I'm not bitter about this in the slightest.
Real normal about it. Real chill.
Yeah, I'm really normal about this. There was also a 12-episode anime focused on the kind of start of the production company. It only features the original cast. The other idols did appear as cameos and had like 1 line each, but they weren't actually part of the series. They were just kind of there for a bit at the end of an episode. They gave you crumbs if you like those guys, basically. There is still music released, and there is still live shows with the seiyuu and the voice actors of the characters, and we'll get into that a little bit now.
Ooh.
But the kind of concept of Sidem is that it's made up of characters that used to have a different job, and then they decided to become idols. So some of them, it's kind of obvious what they maybe used to be, but other like this one, for example, he used to be a martial artist, was his kind of job before he became an idol. This guy used to be a prince, is it's kind of obvious by his design.
Who the fuck stops being a prince to become an idol trainee? Are you kidding me?
Behind this guy. Okay, the lore behind this guy is that he ran away from his country because he didn't want to be a prince anymore.
What the fuck?
And he got adopted by the production agency and became an idol.
I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
Yeah,
actually, that's so weird. That's the exact same thing happened to me.
Yeah, right. Like it could happen to anyone, honestly.
Yeah,
He's also
way more
also,
common
like,
than you think.
He's like 14, so I think it is kidnapping, actually.
Yeah,
what
like
happened here.
they kidnapped a member of the royal family.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, right?
But look how happy he is.
And look, he's got his little
So-
frog with him as well.
That's the face of a deranged
Right.
person.
He is a child. He's a victim here.
He's not sane
we
anymore.
as
He's
the
lost
pro-
it.
We, as the adult producer, have abducted this child and forced him to sing on stage.
That is so crazy.
Yeah,
But at
anyway,
least
I
we
did.
gave him a little froggy, so
Exactly.
His emotional support frog. He needs it.
They come as a pair. Anyway, I didn't expect it to get this deep, but anyway, that's for a different presentation. So I'll introduce you to a few of the units. I can't go through all of them because we'd be here for like 3 hours, but I'll introduce you to the main, I guess, most important ones. So we have Dramatic Stars, who are the protagonist unit. They, as you might notice, they're the kind of traditional Idolmaster protagonist colours of red, blue, and yellow. This is a theme across all the series. They always have like 3 main characters that they focus on that are all kind of these colours, which is really cute. So they are the main characters of the anime and pretty much all of the games. They are comprised of a former lawyer, who is the red one, Terutendo, in the middle, a former doctor, who is the bluish one, Kaoru Sakuraba, and a former pilot, who is Tsubasa Kashiwagi. Who's
Sorry,
here.
this is insane. Imagine you're like, sorry, your surgery's been cancelled. Your doctor is an idol.
That's actually
I can't fully
amazing.
remember, but I think it shows like his lore for becoming one, and I think it is because he like failed a surgery or something.
Oh my god!
He's internationally wanted.
He's a criminal. It's either that or he just like has a really bad disagreement with somebody, or like one of his patients dies. I can't remember, but
That's insane.
yeah, it's very really. He has a really tragic backstory, and he decides to get over it by singing.
I feel like all of these problems like could be solved with like a therapy and not becoming an idol.
This is a theme of Idolmaster.
Therapy be an idol.
But if we didn't have therapy, we wouldn't get the cool songs that they sing.
If you consider, one way to think about it is that singing is therapy.
Yeah.
Right?
And they bond together as a family.
Oh yeah, that's therapeutic.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm not sure about that.
Don't worry about it. It's
Silent.
fine. Look at the cute boys. Stop thinking about that. Look at the cute boys. Just
Ah,
spend your
yes,
money on
yes.
them. But yes, as you might tell, the name Dramatic Stars comes from their former dramatic and stressful professions. Being a doctor, a lawyer, and a pilot are not the most fun thing. So why not just quit and become an idol instead?
Understandable.
Yeah.
The moral of the story. Jupiter are another interesting unit. So they actually started as a rival unit for the Idolmaster 2, which is for an Xbox and PS3 game, which focused on the original girls. This came out in like I think 2008-ish, so it's a pretty old game. They were intended as kind of like a throwaway unit at the time. They were meant to be like, oh, we're the bad, we hate you, we're gonna ruin your live performances, we're your rivals, blah, kind of thing.
Oh my
But
god, they were the
actually super
heels.
popular. Yeah, they were literally the heels. But they were
Amazing.
surprisingly popular. And so when Side M started, they became actual main characters. And the kind of concept was they'd left their evil production company. So they were bad before because their boss was an asshole to them. And it's all okay. They're nice guys now. Trust us.
Yeah.
They're very nice now. So in Canon, they're kind of really respected as like the senpai of like the 315 production. And the voice actors are also very respected by the rest of the cast, which is really sweet to see. I guess a lot of people kind of consider them as like, even though Dramatic Stars are protagonists, they are like the, I guess, founders of Side M, of like the male branch, because the kind of reason Side M came about is because Jupiter was so popular in a game that wasn't really intended for them. So that's really sweet. And yes, they're very cute. They're very good songs. And then finally, the final one I'll go over is a unit called High X Joker. So this is a unit of high school friends who formed a band and then were scouted by the production. Ignore that the kind of whole previous jobs thing falls apart when we have literal high school students. I don't think being a high schooler is a job, but we're just going to kind of go with it. We're going to go with it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They are the most emotional unit and they have the most emotional songs because they're high schoolers. They're very dramatic. What do you expect?
Oh my god, so real.
Right. They're kind of niche that they all play a different instrument. So we have the guitarist, we have the keyboard/guitar guy, the bassist and the drummer, and then the vocalist in the middle. And something really cute is that their voice actors learned the instruments that their characters play for the third live show, and they actually played them on stage. It's really sweet and really emotional. So that's really
so
cute.
That is sweet.
Yeah, it was really. I think I cried a lot when it happened. I remember
Aw.
watching the live show, and I was like, "Oh, they did it." But yeah, they've consistently been the most popular unit across pretty much all of the games while the franchise has been active. So tiering in their events was not for the weak of heart or for the poor. I lost many nights of sleep trying to get to high tiers in their events. So thanks for that. I have a video here. So I mentioned that there was 2 games. The first one was live on stage, and I'm going to show you a music video from that game. So this is kind of like a more traditional idol game with like the songs and stuff. So here is Study Equals Magic.
Can we have it a bit louder?
Maybe. How do I do that? I don't think we can.
Okay, this is the loudest we
If you
can
turn
have.
up my stream volume, that might help.
Okay, okay.
But I can't make it any
Good
louder.
idea. Hold on. Stream volume. Boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop. Okay, try that.
Okay, I restart it. There you go.
Love this dance move.
Incredible choreography.
I know.
Should we learn this?
Yes.
Oh my god, wait.
Absolutely.
Do we have the right number of people? Oh, we might be one person. No. Oh.
Ignore the 2 random people. It should just be 3 people. In the game, you could only have 5 people. You couldn't have less than 5, so you just have to have the random twins in the background.
That choreography is incredible. Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Me at the club, honestly.
Their choreo is insane.
It goes so hard.
If you're wondering about the quality, by the
God.
way, this is how it looked in the game. So this isn't just a YouTube video.
Yeah, this is my Dokuro performance.
Oh
my god, incredible!
Oh my god.
So much of this dance is in the wrists?
Right?
Oh
The
my god.
heels as well.
Oh my god,
like-
on the heels and
Yeah.
everything. Wait.
Why is there science in the background?
I'll explain that after.
Wow. I don't know what this is about, but this is incredible. All the light sticks, that's us going crazy. Incredible ending.
Oh my god, we are
Incredible.
enjoying.
I
Very
need
good,
to
very
learn
good.
this dance.
Absolutely.
That was
iconic.
the unit called SEM, which literally stands for Science, English, Mathematics. I think all of them.
Oh my
They
god!
are teachers. Their whole thing
Boys
they used
in
to be
STEM.
teachers. Literally men in STEM. Hang on, let me see. I'm going to turn on the laser
Oh
points so
my
I can show you guys.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that works, but you can see my mouse now anyway.
Yes.
So this one was the science teacher, this one was the mathematics teacher, and this one was the English teacher.
They look like
And
they're
their whole-
13.
They are. They're all like in their 30s, genuinely. This guy is the oldest. I think he's like 34 or something. This guy's like 32. He's actually only like 26 or 28.
Okay, because
so
he
he's
looks
the
10.
youngest. he is a qualified teacher, Camille. Do not disrespect him.
Oh my god.
If you love education, if you love science or English or math or all three or any combination of those, you too will look this young
Oh
as
my
you
gosh.
age.
Wow.
So
Right.
just love
I'm cooked.
learning, please.
Yeah. Their whole thing is the reason they became idols is to make people study. So they want to promote studying and the importance of education. So they
I love
decided to
them.
become singers.
I love them.
I
do
do.
too.
I think I would have been much more interested in math if my studies had been like this.
Right? Okay, here we go. Don't play yet, please. Okay, I have like a timeline of kind of like the key events. So I've been over this briefly, but just to illustrate. So the series started in 2014 when the mobile game launched in Japanese only. 2015 and 2016 was when the first live concerts happened. So when the voice actors started performing as their characters. They became very popular and they helped kind of establish a fan base a little bit more, especially in the West. There was the Saidem anime, so there was the anime I've talked about, and also one called Wake Ate Mini, which is basically like a little chibi short style anime, which had all of the characters in it, but they were chibis, so not exactly the same, but still very cute. Don't go back. Late 2017 was the main anime series, focusing on the founding of the 3-on-5 production. There was Sidem Live on Stage, which was the first rhythm game, and that shut down in 2022. And then Growing Stars was a reboot of the series. That came out in 2021, and the game shut down in July 2023. Womp womp, not salty at all. I have another video from Growing Stars, so this is from the second mobile game, and I want you to see like the jump in quality from the first one to the second one. This is a unit called Cafe Parade. Their whole thing is that they all work at a cafe, and they became idols to promote the cafe.
Oh, okay,
So
that's
as well
cute.
as-
I actually like
Yeah,
that.
they're a really cute unit. You might have to turn your volume up again for this one.
Okay. Oh, the
Well,
quality
damn.
has like really got up.
Right? It dramatically goes up.
Already, I cannot learn this choreography.
It's
Like,
over.
this shot is crazy.
Okay, but girly pop. Oh my god.
The costumes?
Wow, the
I
production
know.
quality is really
I
good.
love. Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't expect him to have a deep voice. Oh my god, they're selling out the stadium. Damn!
Oh my god.
Holy
Whoa.
fuck! That's so many people.
Right?
Damn. Okay.
Oh my god, does he have heterophobia?
Yes.
God.
Incredible.
I love her.
Yeah, who's the one with the
Huge.
pigtails? I love her.
Yeah. Hang on.
She's a
She is
star.
an icon. Right.
Who are you?
She's
Oh
a
my
star.
god, for us?
Huge.
So that is Saki
is
with the
she?
pigtails. Saki is still considered like a male in terms of the franchise, but she prefers to dress like this. And yeah, I mean,
Oh.
they kind of the writing's on the wall, right? Like, girl, you know.
Adorable.
Yes.
She is so cute, yeah. But the middle, I'll kind of give you a quick left to right. Let me get the shot of all of them. There we
Heterophobia.
go. Right. So this is Matthew. He likes cakes. Him and Saki are dating. It is undisputable.
Lucky him.
This is Camille.
Oh.
He is the owner of the cafe. He is a very princely type. This is Asalam Bibi II. He's a Tuni Bio. He's 30 years old. He's pathetic. I love him, but Jesus Christ, get a grip. I forgot this guy's name. I forgot his name. But his whole thing is that he's also like very kind of charming, very like calm. He never opens his eyes. It's never really explained why he never opens his eyes. He just always never does.
He's sleeping.
He's always sleeping, right? He's always sleeping. But yeah, Cafe Parade are very
Where is
cute.
confident?
I
can't get
know.
over the fact you don't remember his name. That's so funny.
Sorry, I don't. I just now realize I don't remember his name. I feel so bad. But Cafe Parade are very popular. They're a very cute unit. Saki is also a very popular character. She's very cute.
Oh,
But,
incredible.
I love her.
Anyway, this is my favorite character. This is Shiki from High Joker. And the funniest thing is, today is actually his birthday.
Let's go! Happy birthday!
I kind of completely forgot today is his birthday, but I found out when I was like, getting pictures from him from the wiki. It's so funny.
Oh my god.
But yes, this is Shiki. He is my son. He is the vocalist of High Joker. Some things about him, he has kind of like a Gyaru O style, which is like a male Gyaru kind of vibes. He is very energetic, very genki. He's very loud. He's very excitable, very, very cute. He's also very sentimental. He likes taking pictures with his friends. He wants to make as many memories as he can with them before they graduate high school. He's very
Like
emotional.
high school's dying. It's
Literally,
like Senpai's
that's
watching
how-
me from above. It's like Senpai's furthering his education.
That is their whole theme as a unit, honestly. It's that either they're gonna die in 2 years, and they're just gonna like go to college or something. None of the characters ever age either, so they're just kind of forever in high school. They've been in high school for like 10 years at this point. Someone let them out. Yes, he also really likes pandas. He has a very strong kind of, it's called an Aomori dialect. I've never heard it before till I listened to him speak, but it's very cute. He kind of comes out more when he talks to his family. And yeah, he's very sweet. He has really cute relationships with like, there's a character called Ren, who is like a really kind of tsundere character. He's the martial artist one with the white hair. He's very aggressive, very kind of like raw, angry, in your face, but they have a really cute relationship.
Aww.
Because they get along really well, and yes, they are my sons. I have 2 little manjus of him here. I also have a plushie of him. It's called a Nui. It's like a kind of like chibi-ified plushie. I don't know where it is. I think it's like under my bed somewhere. So I might just save him and retrieve him. But I have these little plushie things which are very cute. But yes. I also crashed the wiki when I was downloading pictures of him. It just stopped working at one point. I downloaded so many pictures that I broke it. It's back up now, thankfully. So if anybody asked, it wasn't me. But yes, shout out to the Project iMask wiki for helping me do all of this. I could not have done this without you.
Wow.
Thanks, guys. Anyway, let's go on to the Seiyu and the lives that I've kind of mentioned. It's always had a very active Seiyu community. If you don't know, a Seiyu is just Japanese for voice actor. So if I say Seiyu, I just mean the voice of the character. For a lot of voice actors, it was actually their very first role. They've gone on to be super successful. So you might know who Kento Ito is. He is Dan Heng in Honkai Star Rail. He's Dopo in Hypnosis Mike. If I go back a few slides, back again. That's him. That's
oh my god! Dan Heng!
So if you listen to him sing them, that's Dan Heng's Japanese voice.
That's amazing!
I know, it's so cool. I'm trying to think of another one. I've had it, but off the top of my head, it's gone. Crap, I can't remember. I'll remember if they come up, but yeah, they have a lot of kind of famous voice actors. Oh, Asalin, his voice actor is One Punch Man. He's Saitama in One Punch Man, which is really funny.
That's amazing.
I know. Yes, let's go back to the slide. But yeah, it's had 9 live shows so far. They kind of happen like once every 1.5 year to 2 years-ish. The last one was in July 2024. That was the 9th live show. And it was hosted at the Makuhari Messe International Exhibit Hall. So they do get quite like big venues for it, and they usually sell out. And in kind of like Japanese voice actors, they tend to do a lot of promotional stuff for the things that they're in. So they do a lot of like live streams, a lot of kind of live broadcasts and things like that. So doing these kind of live shows for idol franchises is not out of the norm. But even so, Saidam does kind of tend to go a little bit above and beyond with them. The fact it's had 9 live shows is really crazy, when most kind of franchises like Ensemble Stars, I think, has not had that many. And that's been around for around about the same time. So they're very passionate, they're very glad to be there, and they're very, very cute. These are my 2 favourites. We have Fumiyoshi Shioya, who voices Sora in Saidam, who is one of the characters in the unit Legenders. He voices a very kind of like calligraphy, kind of like traditional Japanese kind of guy. He speaks like very slowly and very softly. He's also this guy in Haikyuu. I haven't actually watched much of Haikyuu, but he's in that apparently, which is nice. I have no idea who these 2 guys are. He's also in a lot of stage plays though. He mostly does that kind of stuff, and he does a lot of like drama CDs. So like some ASMR kind of CDs and stuff. He made an Instagram account last year, and he liked my comment that I left for him, so that's my claim to fame right now.
Nice.
Oh my god.
And then there's Uchida Yuma, who he voices... I just didn't put his side end character on here, shit. He voices Kaoru, the blue one from the main unit, the Doctor. He is also now Grahatia in Final Fantasy XIV. He's Anaxa in Star Rail, and he's Jun Sazunami in Ensemble Stars. And I think Kaoru was also his very first role, or one of his very first as well. So really nice that this could been kind of like a springboard for them. So yeah, my 2 favourite series right now. I'm also pulling for Anaxa mostly because he's voiced by Uchida Yuma, so
nice.
Please pray for me. Speaking of that, I'm going to show you part of one of the live shows. So this is like a trailer they put out before the kind of Blu-ray goes on sale. It's just like some small performances and small parts of performances. I'm going to show you one specifically. You might recognise it.
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god.
Incredible!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, they go hard! Oh my god, he's got the
It's
vibe!
gonna be us! Us when we learn to dance!
Oh my god!
This is incredible. Yeah, the poor twins got cut. Wow.
Oh, so sure.
Wow. This is
There's just something
incredible.
so endearing about watching these like 30-year-old men do this. I don't know why. I just love it so
I love
much.
them.
I might see if I
I
can
do
find
want to
it, but this
study.
one. Go on.
No, that's all.
Oh, you do want to study, sorry. I was like, I thought you were
I'm
going to say
inspired.
you want to study the choreography or something. But yeah, I
That
get
too.
it. The next one is actually, this one's got the fuming in it, so I'll show you this one quickly.
They're so dedicated. Like they're acting their little hearts out.
They're getting paid.
I mean, yeah.
Right?
Not like
Even if
not
they
like
were going
Scavels.
to do this, I feel. Fumi Daisuke! Sorry. I love him so much! Sorry. I'm normal.
Normal, just super normal.
He's just so pretty, I love him. Oh wait, this is also Banger, sorry.
Oh my god. He sees us. They're all doing such a good job for the fact they're not like dancers and stuff.
Right, yeah, they're not dancers at all, they're literally just voice actors, but they go hard for this. It's so
Yeah.
crazy.
I think they are dancers. You know what I mean? Maybe
At-
they
at
weren't.
Seoul,
Now
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
This was only the
true.
third one. I admittedly haven't watched any past, I think, like the 5th live performance, so I have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
But imagine they're all dancers now.
Sari
But no,
notes that
yes,
you've
the-
memorized
I mean-
the timestamps.
I mean,
No,
technically,
these just play all after each other, and it just happens they're all 3 bangers. This is like 10 minutes long. I don't want to make you guys watch the whole thing, but I
Incredible.
will watch the whole thing. Oh, wait, actually, let me go to my favorite. Fuck it, one more. This is the last one. This is High Joker.
Yeah.
This
let's
is
go.
Shiki's voice actor, Nogami Show. There you go.
Oh my god. The outfits are crazy.
High Joker.
Oh my god. Wait, are those those school uniforms?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you're 30.
literally cosplaying their characters.
Incredible dedication.
God, okay. We're going to move on. Anyway, let's get on to what inspired
Oh,
me to
what?
do this presentation, in case you forgot. So now that you know who these people are, let's talk about Buff Jiro.
What the
I'm afraid.
Whoa. Whoa.
Buff Jiro was a Twitter account ran by various people. I'm going to leave their identities a secret. I do know them. I don't speak to them anymore, but I knew who was behind this account and I respected them with my life. So it was basically a shitpost account for Idolmaster Sidem. This was the final tweet from the account. Change the world. My final message, kill Bamco. Because Bandai Namco owns Idolmaster. This thing, I can't maintain the form longer. He's shaking. He's going to fade away. Various kind of shit posts. One day he'll snap. We're still waiting for that day. I think that this was kind of what inspired me to make this presentation, to introduce Sidem, because it's just so funny to me, even to this day. I really can't explain why shit posting as this random 30-year-old science teacher is the funniest thing in the world. Fun fact, Jiro is also the most popular EN character according to the unofficial popularity poll in 2020, which was the last one. So maybe that's why they chose to do it as him. Maybe it's just because he's kind of a pathetic character. But yeah. Anyway, we go into the bad times. Not everything can be study equals magic forever, unfortunately.
Oh.
So
no. Take it back. Take it back.
Take us back. So basically, Sidem has been a little bit kind of neglected in terms of comparison to the other branches, like with the 765, 365, etc. All of the games closed within less than 10 years, meaning that it currently doesn't have any like live media really. It's basically alive through the voice actor performances, the live shows, and various CD releases. So it's still getting new songs and it's getting like various kind of promotions, but that's kind of it. There's no like story content. There's no like new art of the characters outside of these promotions. It's not fully dead, but like if you're a fan, you're really struggling. You are like grasping at straws for whatever you can get right now. Important anniversaries like the 5th anniversary of the whole franchise and the 8th anniversary were just not celebrated. Nothing happened for them. Whereas in other Idolmaster branches, every kind of anniversary gets celebrated, but we got neglected. So sad.
Sad.
The anime also only had 12 episodes, and other Idolmaster animes have like 2 seasons or movies with them as well. But we got 12 episodes in 2017, and then nothing else about it except for the little chibi anime.
Hello, Raiders.
And then
Sorry.
Hi, readers.
Hello, readers. Hello, Cypress. We
I'm-
are
can
doing
I-
a
can I
PowerPoint
play
presentation.
I'm going to play Study Equals Magic again for them after this. No, I'm kidding. But
Amazing.
the biggest controversy was around the PS4 game called Starlit Season. So they really promoted this as like, it's going to have idols from every single branch. It's going to have the Cinderella girls. It's going to have the original girls. It's going to have shiny colors. It's going to have everyone in it. And surprise, surprise, guess who was absent from that? Was the guys. There was
Aw.
nobody from 315 in that game. So people thought they were like really neglected. Felt like that they completely forgotten about 315 at that point. So very, very sad. The kind of current state of it is it's still getting regular new song releases, as I mentioned, and they've begun doing kind of crossover songs with subunits, so characters that wouldn't normally sing together and now have songs together, which is really cool. The live shows are still very consistent, and the last one was in July 2024. And there's a very small Twitter community, but there is still a dedicated EN announcement and translation account, which is very nice, so they kind of translate anything that's happening, like collabs and new song releases and stuff. If you're interested, I would recommend watching the anime. It's all on Crunchyroll. Even if you're not into like kind of idol stuff, it's still a very cozy anime and has some very good songs. Yes, it's a very chill watch. Like, it's not super dramatic or anything. It's just very, very comfy, very cozy. But yes, thank you for listening. That is my idol brain rot. Does anyone have any questions?
Well,
I love actually iconic.
I
Thank
need to
you.
learn this.
The choreography.
The choreography was
I
incredible.
want to learn the dance. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Meet me outside the McDonald's parking lot at 12 p.m. and we'll do Study Equals Magic.
Let's go. No
Yeah.
disruption at all,
let's go.
Cypress. Thank you for the raid. Yes, I'm glad you got to see the end at least of Masha's presentation. Hope you did good.
Yes. There will be a quiz. No,
There will.
won't.
Oh. It will be
The
what's the
quiz
name
is
of the
just doing the
character
dance.
of the guy who
Yes.
never opens his eyes?
Oh, sleepy guy.
Oh my god, what the hell was his name? It begins with a T, I'm sure.
To sleepy.
Theodore. Very different.
I'm gonna find the quiz is for me. I'm gonna find out his name and I'll report back. Oh, I feel so bad. I knew someone who they were their favorite character
Oh
as
my
well. They'll be so
gosh.
upset with me.
That's so
that I
funny.
forgot his name. Oh
I'm
no.
gonna-
Our brains can only hold so much, and because you know the choreography for what was it? Study equal magic.
Study Equals Magic. Yes.
Study Equals Magic is an
Because you know that
incredible.
choreography. I'm sure you do, right?
Yeah,
it takes up
obviously.
some space,
Obviously.
I know it from
We
heart.
had
I
to
can do it
go.
in my sleep.
Obviously.
She study on my magic until I equals.
Incredible.
Does anyone have any questions? Any questions from chat? Any concerns? Which I would
Concerns.
absolutely accept.
No, this was very informational. Thank you. I feel like I've learned
Thank
a lot.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, I will hide your presentation so that Bella can set up.
I will figure out how to stop sharing my screen. There you go.
There you go. Thank you for your presentation. I am enlightened.
Thank you.
Ooh,
I am
Zara has a
glad.
question. How much did you spend on on Idol M?
Like Idolmaster as a whole, or
I think on side specifically.
at least like £300, I would say.
Not too bad. That could be worse.
No, like
You
the
know
most
what?
expensive stuff is the merch because I have to import it from Japan. So
That's fair.
I bought the Blu-rays of the second live performance, so the one before I showed you, and that was like I bought like the collector's edition, so that was like £100 on its own.
That's like really self-control, or for like
Yeah,
buying
well, I haven't
anything
been like
for like idol
actively-
stuff.
I haven't been like actively into it since like probably 2020, so maybe that's why. But
Fair
I need
enough.
that like restraint.
it's same.
Iconic.
Don't ask me how much I spend on gacha games nowadays. That's a different story.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I am super excited for our next presentation by Bella.
Holy shit, trains! Trains are so cool.
Oh my god.
There we go.
I'm
Okay.
weirdly so nervous.
You've done this before and it went great.
I know, and yet I reused my title slide from the last time that
It's
I
very good.
presented. My last presentation was on black holes, and today I will be presenting on trains.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yippee.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Bella, and I love trains.
Yay!
Okay, here we go. I hope you're ready. Also, interruptions are welcome. Okay, trains time. Hello, Google Slides. Are you there?
Google was like, it's
Um,
not trains time.
Okay, here we go. hello, train lovers or future train lovers. I bet you think that the point of this presentation is to convince you that passenger trains are the coolest and that you should use them. And that is true, sort of.
I'm already convinced.
Passenger-
I don't need to be convinced of this. I love trains.
Yeah, passenger trains are way cool. And if you have access to them, you should absolutely use them as much as you can. I live in America.
We were meant to have a presentation on autism today as well.
Yeah,
I really wish I could have put those together.
Just imagine that presentation happened today. So I live in America, and passenger trains are not super viable or accessible to me. So I think passenger trains are so sick and so cool. And there's a lot of really great things about them, and you should absolutely use passenger trains if you can. But actually today, I will be talking about freight trains.
Ooh, okay.
And I bet you probably, maybe you're thinking right now, what is there to discuss about freight trains? I know everything that I want to know about freight trains. And actually, please don't tell me anything more about freight trains. And also, maybe you think they're so boring. And also, maybe you think they're big and loud and smelly. And maybe you've been stopped behind a freight train at a road crossing, and you've been sitting there for 10 minutes, and there's 300 train cars, and you're like, oh my God, this is so annoying. I hate trains. What the heck? But have you ever considered how cool it is that you can sit and watch a train go by for 10 whole minutes, and they can have literally 100 train cars? It's pretty cool. So anyways, this presentation is dedicated to freight trains. So we're going to start at the beginning. Yes, go ahead.
I feel you picked the most attractive freight train to show us, because that's a really sexy train.
Isn't this beautiful to look at? Don't you look at this and just think
I'm not super into trains, but that's a good looking train.
Maybe amazing. I do like trains. Thank you to the website Pexels for all of the fair use
Pexels
images.
Amazing.
It's my favorite. So we're going to start at the beginning. How do trains work? And basically, the way that trains work can all be summarized in one word: friction. Most specifically, the lack of friction. So the way that trains work is that, unlike your typical road vehicle car, which relies on a very high amount of friction between the rubber of tires and the asphalt of road, trains actually rely on a super minimal amount of friction between the train wheel and the rails. So part of this is because steel, both the train wheels and the train rails are made of steel. And because of science, steel on steel produces pretty minimal friction. But additionally, the point of contact between the train wheel and the rail is so small. It is literally dime sized. So there's a very small surface area that's actually touching. So there's pretty minimal friction, which is really interesting and neat. Also, trains have a very unique shape of wheel. So they're sort of a conical shape where the inner part is larger in circumference diameter than the outer part. And this is necessary for trains turning. So unlike car wheels, where the wheels will actually turn, that does not happen on trains. Train wheels have a fixed axle. They do not turn ever. So it's up to the curved railroad track to direct the way that a train goes. And the way that that's able to happen is because of this unique and important shape of the wheels. So basically, when a train is turning, it will shift what part of the wheel is touching the rail. And so one part, the inner side on a turn, will have a smaller diameter section of wheel that is touching the rail. And the outer part, the outer wheel, will have a larger diameter. And so that kind of allows for that curved turn. So kind of neat, really interesting wheel design. Yeah, also fun fact, you might notice there's this little lip on the inside of the wheel called the flange. If you've ever been near a train and it's turning and it's so loud and you're like, this is the worst noise I've ever heard, it's actually because that is the flange. It's the flange touching the rail, rubbing up against the rail. But the flange is essential to prevent derailment.
Makes sense.
That kind of was what keeps the wheels actually on the rails. So
cool.
It's a terrible noise, but it is really important. So yeah. So like as discussed, trains, minimal friction. So a question that you might be asking is if there's almost no friction, how do trains start? That is a great question because, yeah, how does that work? So
Good question.
a couple of things. Trains, particularly train engines, are super heavy, like absurdly heavy, really, really heavy. And thank you, gravity, that weight allows for just enough friction and purchase and grip between the wheels and the rail to get a train started. So it's kind of neat that it's like even despite this like very low friction environment, just the weight of the engine can like that's enough to get purchase. Also, like a small fun fact aside, if trains are ever in an environment where there's like extra challenges with getting started, like if the weather is not great or if there's like a little bit of an incline, they can put sand on the rail right before, like right in front of the wheel, basically. And that helps a train get a little bit of grip. And some trains have these little devices called like sanders that literally put sand on the rail in front of them.
Oh,
That makes
help them.
sense.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's it.
But
So cool.
right? Okay, I love trains. So, as previously discussed, though, sometimes trains will have like literally 100 cars on them, so many cars. And that's like a lot of train to get moving, particularly in an environment where it's like very challenging to get started. There's minimal friction. How does that work? This piece of information is like why I wanted to make a presentation on trains, because I think this is the coolest thing in the world. When trains get started going, particularly like heavier trains, they will move one car at a time. And what I mean by that is that there is a bit of slack in between train cars, such that when
yeah.
and this is the essential piece that it is what allows long trains to work.
I agree.
When
This is black
the engine
magic.
starts, when the engine starts, it's only moving the engine. So it just has to get enough power to start moving the engine. And then once that starts moving, that power combined with the momentum of that very heavy engine is enough to pull just one additional car, the next car in line. And then between the two of them, that's added momentum, that becomes enough power to pull the
Oh,
next
okay.
car, and so on
So
and
it's
so
like a
on.
chain
Wild.
reaction.
Exactly. And so this is the reason that trains can be so long, because getting started, there just has to be enough power and momentum to move just like one rail car at a time.
Oh my god.
And
That
the
equals
way that
magic.
this works, yeah. The way that this works
it
is
feels like
because
it.
of the like area in between two train cars. So I have this like random image here that like kind of shows in between two train cars. And what it looks like when you're just looking at the picture, it looks like these two train cars are connected by this like firm piece of like metal, basically. But that's kind of a trick. There's actually a really important piece in the like coupling or like connecting area of train cars called the draft gear that allows for like you can kind of picture it like a spring. It's not exactly like that, but you can picture it sort of like that, where it allows for the train cars to get closer and further away from one another. So when they like stop, when they're in like a stopped position, the train cars are as close together as this like piece allows, so that as they move, there's this like slack that can be let out so that one car can move without the next one moving. And this is like an essential piece. This like slack between the train cars is an essential piece of trains.
Someone
moving.
actually has a question about that. Someone
Oh,
asked,
yes.
doesn't it pull the locomotive back too?
Like the engine?
I suppose, like, if I guess the weight. So I guess it. Simon, can you clarify your question, because all I'm reading is chat.
Yeah, it is like it's a very interesting process. It also determines the way that like braking happens. But yeah. This also, so like this piece of information is super critical for long trains and freight trains in particular. But technically this is like relevant on passenger trains as well. But like with freight trains, like you've potentially probably heard that freight trains can take a super long time, like miles and miles to break. When a freight train stops, that has to be a planned stop for like literally like miles and miles out. And it's a longer stop area that is needed if like the longer or heavier the train is. And that's less of an issue for passenger trains because they are significantly lighter. And that's why they can stop and start a little faster.
So Zara
The
says,
momentum from the cars. Yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
no, you're reading it anyway.
Okay. The momentum from the cars in the back, it's pulled by the engine, but it should also drag the locomotive. Like it's not like this is not a zero. I hope I'm like understanding this correctly, but feel free to continue asking your question if you'd like. This isn't like a zero friction. It's not a zero friction environment. There's low friction, but it's not zero friction. So there has to be some sort of like force propelling the train forward. Like if the locomotive, like if the engine completely stopped, the train would stop. It would take some time, but it would stop. So it's not like it's not like you get the train moving and then it's like a zero energy system and it'll just go forever. So you're right in that like a train, it's not purely momentum, it's also absolutely the power of the engine. But the power of the engine is basically like supplemented by momentum in order to get those further back cars moving.
That's so neat.
So it's like, yeah, it's definitely pulled by the engine. But what I like, a helpful way to think about it is that if you took a train, like a super long train, and you imagine that like coupling area with the draft gear, and you imagine it pulled all the way out, so like there's no additional slack, it's like pulled as far apart as possible, if that makes sense. If you had a train in that position and you tried to start it, it would not be able to start. I hope that kind of makes sense.
This is all very, very neat.
So like the momentum is a necessary part of moving it, but you're totally right that like it's not pure momentum. That would be sick though. But that's not currently possible. Thank you, physics. Yeah, okay, perfect. Great. Yeah. But yeah. So,
Woo!
I'm going to talk a little bit more about freight trains. We were learning a little bit about how trains work, freight trains. So, this is a map of the like freight of like railways that operate in the United States. So you'll notice that it goes into like other parts of North America as well, but this is the US like railway system. So the US freight rail system is the most effective freight rail system that exists, which is pretty cool. It's very large. It's also private, which is kind of essential to its ability to be so large and work so well. But it is like, it's very interesting to look at freight rail in the United States because there's so much going on that we can really see like what that looks like and what that means. So I just wanted to show this map because it's kind of neat.
Is there like a reason it all kind of converges on Chicago? Like I think all the lines like go through there. Is there like a big station there or something?
Probably yes. I think like, I don't know why specifically Chicago. I think there's a lot of like central, like Chicago is a pretty central trade area.
Yeah.
I don't know why specifically, because it is kind of like, it's not on the border of the United States per se. But yes, Chicago is a pretty central like trade spot. I think probably maybe part of it is that like it's kind of like in the middle of the country. It's not exactly in the middle of the country, but like you can kind of see based on the different colors that like the different colors represent different private companies that own parts of the rail system. And there are some that operate like more north, more south, more east, and more west. And you can see that most of those colors do kind of converge on Chicago. So it's kind of central in terms of the different like regions of the United States, which is probably why they converge there.
Someone in my chat mentioned as well, because it's like by the sea, there's probably like a seaport or something where like they maybe get a lot of the stuff from, and then it goes from there to
it's not by the sea, but it is by the Great Lakes, and there is that's like Michigan that's right next to it. And I think that like there is trade that happens particularly from like Canada, I think that
Yeah,
goes through Lake Michigan. There is definitely trade, like boat trade in Chicago. But yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so this is kind of like what the railway looks like in the United States. Neato. And the different colors, like I mentioned, they represent different like entities that own the actual railroads, like the tracks.
Ooh, Georgia says Chicago has major steel industry, I believe.
Oh, yeah, you're
Okay,
totally
that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Chicago does. Yeah, that makes sense a lot. I know some about the railroads and less about the actual stuff that travels on the railroads.
Mm-hmm.
So, a really interesting and like important thing about train, particularly freight train transit, is that freight rail has high capacity and like much better fuel efficiency than some alternative transportation options. So, freight trains are more efficient than trucks in terms of capacity. So, the like quantity of goods that they are able to carry, fuel consumption, and carbon emissions, which is related to that fuel consumption and capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a graph sort of like highlighting that difference. And like there is a kind of like throwaway statistic that I always hear that I couldn't find like a good source for it, so I didn't want to like put it in writing. But a thing that I hear often when like researching freight rail is that one train can replace 100 trucks. And again, I don't really know the source for that or exactly how true it is, so I don't want to like put that out there as like exact truth. But when you consider it, like one train can be so long and can carry so much goods, it is able to replace a pretty significant amount. Like the amount of trucks that you would need to transport what you can transport on one train is a much larger number. So train transportation of goods is much more efficient, basically.
Nice.
Also, I put in the slide, trains heart Earth. And I don't know if that's exactly true because trains don't have the capacity for love, but I think if they
Take it back
did,
now. Take that back.
I think if they did, they would love the Earth. So it was weirdly quite challenging to find. There's not a ton of like great sources of data on like emissions and transportation and trains. I found a couple of sources of data, and then I also found a couple of scientific papers that I couldn't access because they cost money, which is something that pisses me off. But that's a presentation for another day, as they say. So here are some pieces of information that I think are kind of illustrate this point. So in 2019, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation, freight rail accounted for about 28% of goods by ton, like by weight, transported in the United States. So that's a huge portion of like transportation of goods. But in 2022, which again, not the same year of numbers, but probably quite significant or like probably quite relatable. In 2022, freight rail was responsible for only 2% of greenhouse gas emissions in the transportation sector. This is according to the EPA. So again, not exact same year. And there's also like a lot of factors here, but it is really interesting to consider that like, despite being a pretty large portion of transportation, trains do not account for a huge portion of greenhouse gas emissions, which is really neat. So
I guess it makes sense, right? Because like you say, they can hold more
actually really
capacity.
cool.
So
right, exactly.
less journeys to travel the same amount of stuff.
I do like what Lucas is saying. This is train sound better than truck confirmed.
Yeah, exactly.
It is settled.
So we love trains. And then I do want to put a disclaimer here that freight rail is not perfect. I think that like anytime I think anytime I'm talking about this, I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, trains are the best. Everything should like move by trains. Cause I'm not like I'm not a freight rail lobbyist. Okay. Like I'm not invested in this. There are a couple like issues with trains that I think are worth noting. Trains do not like hills. So trains, like I mentioned before with the, challenging situations where, trains cannot start if they're going on an incline very easily. Trains really do not go on inclines like at all. Like it does not really happen. So trains make a lot of sense, like particularly in the United States. Like I'm going to go back to my fun little map. Particularly in like the middle of the United States, there is so much flat land. And that works so well for trains. So a unique thing about the US is that the it's like just made for trains. It works so well for trains. And also like anytime there was an obstacle, we just went through it. So
Nice.
good job, I guess. Anyways, so trains don't work well on hills, which makes like large scale freight train or freight rail just like not possible for some areas of the world. Also, trains are not a flexible mode of transportation. You can't just like, trains can't go off-road. Trains need a rail, and that can't be.
Well, it can, but it really shouldn't.
Yeah.
It won't go well.
I'd like to see it try.
So that means that like you cannot just like, it takes so much time and planning to stand up a new railway. And also trains are not ideal, particularly freight trains, not ideal for cities. Like you cannot put a freight rail going into the middle of a city. It just does not make sense. It doesn't work. So the ideal situation here, I think like no one is advocating for like all trains always, but the ideal situation is a combination, or what according in the industry is called transloading, which is the process of moving goods between transportation modes. So basically the most ideal like version of implementing freight rail is to have freight rail moving goods across large flat distances, and then switching goods into trucks to get them into the like final destination. Also, a thing that I think is really important to mention regarding the success of freight rail here in the United States, part of the reason for that success is deregulation. So in the like 1970s, freight rail in the US was in rough shape. There was a lot of government regulation, and I think at the time a lot of freight rail was like owned by the government. It was like a public thing. And in 1970, in order to revive the freight rail industry, the government passed some law that deregulated freight rail and allowed for basically it like privatization was really happened in 1970, and now freight rail in US is like massively profitable due to these private companies that really took off and were able to like expand and own railways and all this stuff. Anyways, deregulation has downsides. I think that's really, really important to mention. So yeah. Anyways, trains. The thing that I wanted to end with on my chat about trains is that a thing that is just so good to know is that people love trains. I asked people on Blue Sky what they love about trains, and here are some of the things that people said. My friend Brennan said that trains saved my life. And I don't know what that means, but I think that's inspiring.
I love that.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Also, Hoobsy talked about the sound of trains, and I have also lived around trains.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think,
also used to live right next to like a railway line, and it was so comforting to fall asleep to.
It's like being on trains, I think, is a great sound, but even just having freight trains go near you can sound so cool. And it's just like, I think that there's a lot of people in the world who love trains, who love watching trains, and who love like trains that you can ride on, but also there are people who just like love watching freight trains. And I think that that's not an accident. Like there's something so magical about listening to and watching a train. Also, a lot of people enjoy traveling by train because it means you don't have to get up into the sky in an airplane. And I agree with that. And also, like to my point of people loving to watch trains, there are like tons and there are so many train related videos on YouTube and in the world.
Train spots are a huge thing.
Yeah. And again, like it's such a it's just a common thing. Trains are just really cool. So
yeah.
Anyways, what I would like to leave you with is next time you see a freight train, please say hi to it.
Double deckers.
Yes. See, this is the other thing is, this is such a cool random fact that I learned recently about trains in the United States. A lot of like trains could go higher than this. Like it doesn't actually matter. Like you could put super tall, like you could do like 3 stacked or 4 stacked containers. And the reason it's usually only 2 is because most train lines have to go through cities where there are like bridges and stuff like that, like overpasses. But if that weren't a thing, there's really no limit to how tall. I mean, probably there's some limit, but there's not as much of a
literally
limit on how
no
tall
limit.
trains could be. They could go all the way up to the moon. Just kidding. But but yeah, you could stack trains even higher, but it just wouldn't work with like city infrastructure.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's what I have on trains.
I
any
found that so
questions?
much.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I have a renewed love
I
for
love
freight
trains.
trains.
Yeah, same.
I just think that they're like an unsung hero of transportation. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like a huge quantity of goods are moved by freight rail. And also like trains are not even a new technology. They've been around for so long
Yeah.
and they're still the best in terms of efficiency, which is just really
That's
special.
so good.
It's something you don't really think about, right? Like, how does the stuff that you like buy, say if you buy something from Amazon randomly, how does it get to you who live in like in the middle of America or something? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And like I went through this presentation with my partner to practice. And at the end, I asked if he had any questions. And he was like, well, you said that like freight trains are more efficient than trucks, but like wouldn't the most efficient or environmentally friendly than trucks? And he was like, but wouldn't the best thing for the environment be just to like not have anything? And I agree with that. Like,
I mean,
that's true.
yes, but let's be
like
honest.
we are yeah, we live in a world that is so dependent on transporting goods across all over the place. And just like trains play a really big part in that, and you probably hadn't even thought of it recently, and that is cool.
That is cool. Someone asked what your favorite freight train is.
Oh, I don't have one. I actually I found when I was like researching stuff to put in this, I realized that there are so many people who like really, really, really care about different train engines and like different, like they will like also there's this whole new brand of, or not brand, but like type of diesel engine that is being used in train engines that is like kind of recent. And I saw so many forums that were like doing all of this math of like comparing, and that is not the brand of train excitement that I have. So I don't know. I like them all.
A lot of people have like so many opinions about trains in the chat. I wasn't aware y'all love trains so much.
Oh my god. Hi train friends.
I just really wish the presentation on autism was right now. That was just very good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mine.
Thank you.
Thank you for training with me.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Train. I'm gonna run
Choo
the
choo.
ad break while we set up the next presentation. Thank you for your presentation. That was very, very informative. I learned so much again.
Of course. Anytime. I love learning.
Oh, me too. What was it? Study equals magic.
Study equals magic.
Study
Yeah.
equals magic. we like trains. We're train lovers here. Okay.
Trains
Yeah.
equal magic.
Mary
So
is
true.
here. Okay, perfect. Oh yes. Let me set up your presentation, Mary. 1 second.
Yippee!
Yippee. I am very excited.
I'm so sorry for the level of info dump that I'm going to put on you all today.
I am.
This is purely educational.
Info dump
I'm
is
so sorry
great.
in
What do you
advance.
mean?
Yeah, this is great. Okay. Well,
That's what this whole party has been. It's just info dumping. I love it.
true.
Yippee!
Okay. My main issue is
Let
that I
me
keep
know when
running
you're
out.
ready for me to cook.
Yes, I'm just setting you up as a speaker. The one thing I keep running out of though is topics to info dump on because I present every time, obviously.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That just means you need to get into more things.
True. I do have two
Yeah.
unheavies.
Oh my god. I can share some of my hyperfixations with you. Do you want
Amazing.
some?
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
Yes, we should do this, but it's not even presenting. We're just talking about
You
our
just-
hyperfixations.
Yeah.
That's just
We should do this, but we like
guys.
force each other to like we force a topic on someone else, and then you have to research it and become an expert.
Yeah.
on
Oh
it.
my god. Yes, that sounds so fun.
Hey,
And then you have to quiz them at the end.
That'd be funny.
Mhm, mhm.
I'll be back in 2
Oh my
seconds. I'm
god,
going to the
hands.
bathroom.
Okay, no worries.
I'm gonna hand someone my crippling Hunger Games addiction that just refuses to leave me.
Stop. Me too. Wait, can I tell you something so
my God, wait.
embarrassing about Hunger Games
Please,
and myself?
please.
No one listen. Chat,
Uh-huh.
don't close your ears. I love The Hunger Games so much. I recently reread all of the stories and I uploaded videos on YouTube sharing my thoughts on them. And accidentally, every single video, one per book, is well over an hour long.
Wow.
That's amazing, though. Hang on, that's
That
not
is
embarrassing. You're
so good.
cooking.
I kept like I would sit down to record and be like, okay, I have like, I don't know, maybe this will be like 10-15 minutes of like thoughts to get out, and then I would press the like stop recording button and look at the time and be like, why was that 50 minutes?
That's so good.
What did I do?
That's how it's meant to be, though. If it's Hunger Games, you gotta talk and yap on that for hours.
And I could, and I did.
I honestly have a newfound appreciation for them ever since like I've been an adult. I think at teenage me just didn't really get it.
Yeah, honestly, same. I think teenage me liked the books, but I didn't like. There was a lot of all of the deeper stuff just kind of went over my head a little bit, which is okay.
Same.
But now as an adult, I'm like, oh,
now I get
Younger
it.
me hyperfixated so hard on that series that for my birthday, 3 different people got me the Mockingjay book. I have 3 copies of the Mockingjay book.
Incredible.
I already had the Mockingjay book.
What did you do with all the extra copies?
I still have them.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're still in my book collection.
That's so sweet. Have you read the newest one that came out?
Not yet, and I'm going insane because I want to read it so bad.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
luck, friend.
I've heard amazing
It's so good.
reviews.
Yeah.
Oh, same. It's been all over my TikTok feed, and it's like I'm going insane because I told myself I can't get it until after I finish moving house.
Oh,
So like I've had to wait.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But it's not going anywhere, thankfully.
Exactly.
That's true.
Soon it'll be in my hands. And they announced like the movie for it as well.
Yeah, no, I heard really, really good things.
It's so fucked up apparently, and I'm so excited.
Oh man. What an insane sentence, by the way.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Okay, we'll just wait for Matcha to come back from the bathroom.
Oh, sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Haha.
Hello.
I didn't want to interrupt the Hunger Games talk.
It was very important to be fair. Okay, cool. I will switch us to the presentation. There we go. Whenever you're ready.
Oh my god. I'm so nervous now. Okay, hi. So like cosplay, am I right? Now I promise, I swear I know things about cosplay. I promise. Just hear me out for the next little bit, all right?
Okay.
So, what is cosplay? So cosplay is the practice of dressing up as a character from a book, film, or video game. There's obviously a lot more than that as well. That's just an example. Now, the word itself is derived from the words costume play and is actually considered a performance art. Now, cosplay includes many various subcultures and applies to any costume role-playing apart from stage work. The originality of cosplay comes from futuristic costumes, which were created for the first World Science Fiction Convention in New York City in 1939. It eventually was given the term in 1983 due to its rapid growth of people engaging in cosplay as a hobby. Now, in modern days... It is! But so now in modern day, cosplay is heavily shown all throughout the world of media, from conventions, competitions, socials, websites, and there's also a trend where we're starting to see cosplays in TV and movies, which has been very fascinating.
Interesting.
Because 1 second you're like watching a music video and then there's Yai Miko and Zhongli walking together of all things.
That's so funny.
The Eula cosplayer on a TV show, I was like, okay.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So with that, cosplay does not follow gender and is seen mostly for most people as a hobby that welcomes all who wish to give it a try. Of course, you can then move into the industry side of cosplay, which is developing. It's still in its baby steps. We have a few of our cosplay elders who have stepped into that range of things, but it is still a developing industry. So, with that, cosplay is an ever-expanding art form. So, although I'll be discussing some types briefly over the next few slides, it's important to remember that this is not all styles, and this will regularly change as more and more people experiment with these mediums. Learning the different types of cosplays is important because it can help any new person find the right gateway of entry for their experience and confidence. And it is important to remember, all cosplay is valid cosplay.
Yeah.
So, starting off, we have what we would air quotes call standard cosplay.
Gemma.
So
cool.
standard, right? Like I was like, oh my god,
That's so
this
cool.
cosplay is
This is so
insane.
So
nice.
fast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that and I was like, already?
Yeah.
Okay, puff off. So yeah, when you're thinking of standard cosplays, this is what kind of comes to mind, with a main focus of dressing up as an already existing character with the aim to be as accurate to the source material as possible. There are often minor adjustments to costumes to keep costs leveled and to make sure that costumes remain comfortable, but in general, the cosplayer's goal is to remain recognizable to their character. Standard cosplays can be made by the cosplayer themselves, purchased online, and commissioned by other cosplayers or seamstresses. So this is what you think when you hear cosplay most of the time. This is your go-to in your head.
Yeah.
Next is casual cosplay. So casual
love
is
these.
vastly different to standard. And what this kind of means is it aims to be inspired by the character whilst remaining much more subtle. The main idea is to avoid copying the exact design whilst implementing small details that are a call to the original character. So think things such as matching colors or patterns to a canon outfit, or having an accessory that matches the original character like a bow. This form of cosplay allows for a much more calmer and public cosplay in any environment. And what's really cool is this cosplayer here is cosplaying one of the characters from the previous slide.
Oh, Jean from Genshin.
This is a Jane, this is a Jean cosplayer.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Right? It's so good. It is such a great way to bring cosplay into your everyday, since a lot of people use it as like an expressive performance art. They utilize this to have that kind of personality in their everyday life.
Also for cons
10
as
out of
well,
10.
like casual cosplays are so good because like cons get sweaty and like your feet will hurt. So wearing something comfortable is way nicer.
That's so fair.
It's also very like new person entry, like easy.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna find it a lot easier to start with a casual cosplay than a standard air quotes cosplay. So yeah, from there we have the closet cosplays.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Yeah, so for closet cosplay, oh my god, my words, sorry. To closet cosplay, all a cosplayer needs to do is open their wardrobe, art supplies, and even take a visit to the op shop for a sneaky quick bargain. This leads to less accurate cosplay sometimes, but it allows quick thinking and building from scratch that creates some really excellent costumes. The closet cosplay is built to be budget friendly and is seen as one of the cheapest ways to get into cosplay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's literally just built around. I've seen people do closet cosplays using cardboard for armor.
Oh, that's so clever.
Blows my mind. And that's Freddy Fazbear. Oh my god.
Right.
Amazing.
Like you tell pretty much instantly who it is, which is really, really cool.
Right? It's so well done.
Oh,
Now,
yeah, I love
Jajinka
these.
cosplays are their own subculture of cosplay. They're based off of non-human characters, often created by the cosplayer themselves or inspired by fan art online. The user will take visual elements from a fictional non-humanoid character and apply them to a new design so they are still recognizable but humanoid.
That's so cool.
You'll see this very often. Yeah, it's existed for a while now, but it's starting to get more and more utilized, and I'm like, oh my god,
Only
this is
see
So
that
it
it's
became
in
really
art.
big when Bowsette was a thing, because that's
Oh,
basically
yeah.
Gajinka, right? So tons of people did cosplays of her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like you'll see this with Pokemon cosplayers, Digimon cosplayers.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen Chocobos from Final Fantasy,
Oh,
my
cute.
gosh. I
and
have
I've
only
seen
art
the
of
most
that.
cool.
Cool.
Yeah, right. My favorite one that I've seen out at a convention was somebody who did a Jajinka for Cube. And it was this
Oh,
most
that's
gorgeous
cool.
ball gown. Like
Ooh.
a full handmade ball gown.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
I was
cool.
like, Right? Like, oh my god. And as you can see, like, these are 2 Pokemon characters. And if you know Pokemon, these are very easily identifiable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, you've got Chandelure,
yeah.
and you've got Suicune.
That's so cool.
They take from those key elements and they just go, slap it here. And it's like, you know.
That's so cool.
I love that the Chandelure one's kind of like a Lolita style. Like, that's absolutely Chandelure's vibe.
And you can, his little face is like on the skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mask as well.
And then the
is so
Suicune one is just
Suicune.
insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's an
Yeah.
armor build.
That's so much effort.
God, yeah, it is. I've done so many Jijinka cosplays and they drive me insane. Now, crossplay. So crossplay is when a cosplayer cosplays a character that does not match their own gender identity. The goal of crossplay is to transform your own appearance to look like a different gender using makeup, shapewear, and prosthetics and other modifications. In saying this, in the last few years, crossplay has also developed to embrace a lot more body positivity. Men with thick beards who cosplay princesses in beautiful ball gowns are just as much crossplayers as people who shave their facial hair and aim for a clean-shaven look in their cosplay. Many crosplayers will also take the time to try and mimic and work on posing as the character to aim for a more realistic illusion in their cosplay. But it is important to note, crossplay is not the same as gender-bent cosplay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
It
the
is
diff-
very often
Yeah.
confused.
Oh,
So,
I see.
gender bent?
Oh, yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, so gender bent is taking like, Peach is now like a strong knight, like knightly man.
Makes
And you
sense.
redesign to like bend to that. But
So
crossplay is
crossplay, you're
embracing,
trying
like-
to like keep the original gender expression of the character.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. For example, AK Weirder, who is a cosplayer on this side, is one of my best examples for crossplay. Does the most incredible big builds for like masculine cosplays, insane feminine cosplays.
Yeah.
Mm.
Incredible legs. Yeah,
like that photo alone.
Yeah, the legs.
Like,
are
right?
insane.
Incredible. Snaggle asked, have y'all seen the guy who cosplays Disney princesses? He's beautiful. It makes me question my sexuality.
There's so many of them, but yes, I've seen so many. From there, we do have OC cosplay.
Ooh.
So, original
that's cool.
characters is what OC stands for. Now, the opportunity to cosplay as original character is always welcomed in cosplay spaces, be it a D&D character, an original character from a world you're building from scratch, or an OC from a series in a known universe. There are always people at cons and on TikTok excited to show off their OC cosplays. In America, they have like a really big culture of cosplaying as OCs to what they call Ren fairs as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a very big thing. You'll see it all over your like socials when Ren Fair season's live. They'll dress up as OCs, it's classed as cosplay, and they go to these Ren Fairs.
I had a university lecturer who would like cosplay her D&D character and like go, I think it's called LARPing, so she'd like go and like role play with her friends like IRL, and that was always so cool. She showed us some
my God,
pictures and
LARPing
like
is sick.
it was so cool. Yeah.
There are
Nice.
really big LARPing communities around the world. My state, where I live in Australia, has a very big LARPing culture. And these
Yeah.
people will just go out to like these hired fields and act out scenes in character.
Yeah, a friend of mine does it and always tells me about like the most insane storylines that happened.
They're always just
It's
absolutely
like
insane, too.
dedication, yeah.
It's like, how was your weekend? Like, oh, I died. It's like, not me, but my character.
Oh my god.
Like I'm like the war. I was on the war council, and now I'm the general. And I was like, what is going on?
Oh my God, they're living a whole life.
Yeah, I was like, I cleaned
No.
my flat.
No, what is really good as well with OC cosplays is they are very beginner friendly because the design can be fitted towards your own comfort. There's no direct aim towards accuracy and it gives more freedom to design and create. So you're not following a blueprint, you're creating your blueprint.
Makes sense.
So honestly, really good for beginners. Now, there are some other notable types do include the anime gal Kigurumi cosplays.
I've
This
seen
is
lot
a
of
type of
those
mask
recently,
cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't a
this is a
VTuber
subculture
recently
that's
do that?
really picking up.
Yeah. That's why I think I've seen
Yes.
it.
So this is a type of mask cosplay that has origins in official stage shows of some of the Japanese anime performances, but lately has been adapted more and more by cosplayers around the world. It's different to kigurumi cosplays, which a lot of people will know as cosplaying using like the really large onesies. This is also becoming very popular in VTuber cosplay scenes as well.
Yeah.
Like, I have seen so many specifically for VTubers in the last couple of years. So this trend is really growing. From there, we have fursuits. So unlike Jijinkas, a fursuit is a cosplay made to look like someone's OC animal. These are often bodysuits with an animal head that is made to look like it's walking on two legs. Fursuiting sees itself flourish in the OC side of cosplay, with suits matching official works being labeled as mascot suits instead. So an example being an OC Pikachu versus a general Pikachu, where the OC Pikachu is classed as a fursuit and will show slight differences in its design, versus the brand standard Pikachu being a mascot suit. So there is a difference between a fursuit and a mascot suit.
Interesting.
Which is that's a big thing. They kind of get shoved together a lot, but they are their own distinct brand TM. And then original designs. So original designs are often done by people wanting to bring in AUs or unique ideas for outfits towards already existing fictional characters instead of aiming to cosplay a canon outfit. So examples of this can be when people create large, beautiful ball gowns for their favorite characters or AUs, where their outfits will change due to the shift in the universe. Yeah, so like think pirate AUs, crossovers with other medias. You can see people cosplaying original designs as well made by fan artists. But it is always important that you get permission from the original artist before you make the cosplay.
I saw someone cosplay Mechanic Cave from Hoyofe.
Oh, cool. I love those.
And I
insane.
lost my shit.
It's really a big thing in like VTuber communities as well. Like whenever a VTuber releases a cover of like a and like big one's been monitoring recently. A lot of VTubers have covered that, and I've seen people cosplay like the version of the VTuber in that song, they're like wearing the same outfit and stuff, and it's really cool.
I love that. So then, where do I start with cosplay? Once you know what type of cosplay you want to do and what character you want to do, it's going to feel overwhelming at first, especially if you're new. What's always important is that you reach out to communities, find tutorials, give yourself time to start building the foundation to a successful cosplay. There are hundreds upon thousands of support groups out there, Discord servers, Facebook groups. I think there's like Tumblr communities as well at the moment. And all of these have a lot of like air quotes cosplay elders, people who have been cosplaying for like 20 plus years, where their main task is passing on knowledge and tips and tricks to newbies. There are constantly like flood of new knowledge getting put online in YouTube tutorials. They're starting to get really, really popular. When I started cosplay, I unfortunately started during an era where it was all gatekept. You were lucky to find tutorials. You were lucky to know how to learn how to make these things. We are now in an era where everyone who kind of like started with that era kind of are just like, here is every detail I can give you because I didn't get that.
I've recently saw on
So you can
TikTok there's
literally,
someone
like-
who's making a Hatsune Miku wig, and she's like documenting the whole process
Oh
of doing
yeah,
the
I've
start to
seen that
finish,
one.
and it's so cool.
That's so good. Oh my god, yeah, no, like that's like stuff that we didn't get when like I first started. And it was kind of like, okay, well, what do I do? And then after like multiple hours, I found one DeviantArt like guide, and I went, oh, okay, I can follow this, I guess. But in saying that, some of those really old DeviantArt guides are still the ones you recommend to people.
Yeah.
Like, there is a Vriska like cosplay tutorial that I have seen circulating even in modern day now, and I used that same one back in 2015.
Damn.
Not even 2014 it was when I made it. So yeah, 2014, and it still exists. It's still passed around regularly as a guide.
Damn.
So like they cooked. But yeah, once you've got an idea of the cosplay, your next best step is to complete a design breakdown, which is a very important learned task. So, how to break down a design for cosplay. If you want to succeed, it's important to take the time to really plan out your work. This is, like, as I said, it's an art form that's you're going to take a while to be able to make a habit of this. It's going to minimize the overwhelming task ahead of you. It lets you document and plan out your tasks and purchases, and it can be tailored to fit your brain cells. Like, this will help you over time.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the ways that I tend to do it, and this is how I'll teach you guys, is work from the head down. So you're going to start by noting major design elements. What does the character wear? Do they have a specific pattern? You note all of these down like that. So this is an example here.
Yeah.
So this is meant to look messy. This is our messy stage. And yes, Yang Xiaolong. Oh my god. I asked my community, I was like, who do you want to see me do a character breakdown on? And they're like, Yang. And I was like, okay. So like, I did this so many years ago. Okay, here we go. So when you look at these here, you can see we've started from the head down. We've started wig, contacts, collar, glove, the jacket, the zipper, the arm, the belt, the butt cape, the leggings, the scarf, the boots. So we've worked our way down. We've got our general ideas. I also have a little recommendation. I'm sorry. I'm not like shilling them. That's just my personal recommendation because I'm very fussy about contacts because they are a very scary thing. Contact care is very essential. If you are not careful with your contacts, it will permanently damage your eyes. I will tell you that because it happened to me.
What?
Whoa.
I am losing the sight in one of my eyes because I put in a faulty contact lens.
Oh my god.
And that's it.
That's so scary.
I will eventually go blind in my eye. So you need to make sure you are buying from a reputable brand, from a reputable company.
Holy
This is
crap.
the only scare tactic I'm going to use on you guys today, I promise, because this is like the one thing I really care about. Always check the edges of your contacts. If there is the slightest little cut in them, that's it. Throw them. No messing around with that.
That's
I put in a
crazy.
contact and I didn't do that check. It had the tiniest little cut in the very edge of it. Tiny. And that's it.
Oh my god.
Scratched up my eye so bad that it will never repair.
Holy crap.
And that's
I'm
why I
sorry.
wear glasses.
That sucks.
So let me be the lesson for you guys.
Noted.
So we're seeing this really nice cosplay like design breakdown here, right? You're also going to note that I've made comments about the splash art versus the screenshots when it comes to those colors there, which is very important because splash art versus model art. Sometimes splash art focuses on mood lighting over model lighting. So getting multiple references if there are no canon reference turnarounds helps significantly when breaking down a character design. So from the last one to this one, we can see that the neck piece is connected in a specific way on the side bits. We can also see that the butt cape, like flaps, need to be able to disconnect. We can see that in these images, they don't exist there. And most importantly, the leggings are black in the model reference. When you go back to that splash, what color are they?
They're like brownish, yeah.
Brown. Yeah. So, splash art is always an unreliable narrator. If you can get a model reference, utilize that the most. Otherwise, you will then have to either accept that you went by splash art color canon, or you're making some changes. Yeah, we don't like doing that.
Recommending if you're only taking photos to edit your eyes in Photoshop rather than wearing lenses.
Yes, you can do
Yeah,
that.
that also works.
Absolutely. So you can do a lot of photo manip tools to change your eye color. There's also, I personally believe, who cares?
Yeah.
Just don't change your eye color. It's fine. But if you are going for like really two reference cosplays or you're competing, that's when you kind of really look at it.
Makes sense.
Because like the comps that I've done, they will look at that. And you're just like, thanks. So like, photo manip is so easy afterwards as well. Now, let's talk recommendations. So only after you've done breakdowns, then you can start looking in recommendations. Utilize patterns that exist already, especially if you're new and you're wanting to try this. There's this very, very important method in cosplay called mock-ups. what you do is you buy a very cheap fabric. I recommend buying poplin. It's like $2 a meter. I think it's up to $2.20 a meter now because of like inflation. But what you do is you get your pattern, you draw it all out on the poplin, you cut it out, you sew it together. And when you're wearing it, you grab a pen or like a marker, you mark changes that you want on that. And then you cut them, you make a different mock-up, you try that, you make adjustments. Only once you are happy with that do you move on to your good fabric. Do not touch your good fabric with a pair of scissors until you are 100% confident.
Makes sense.
Now, also talking about the YouTube tutorials there, as I've shown you here in this as well, like, it exists. You can find tutorials for anything. Because, like, how many people here would confidently say, yeah, I know how to make the robot arm?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I could say that, but it would be a
Exactly.
lie.
You could say it. I could not prove it.
Oh my
If I were feeling like
No,
I
you're
wanted
real
to
for
lie,
that.
I would say that.
You and I lie.
I have made 3 cosplay robot arms, and every time I have hated it. Because mine didn't have tutorials that I could follow for 2 of them. And I just had to kind of like mix and mash 3 different tutorials into one, and I went, yeah, that's good enough.
Oh my god.
VX says I'd have a better shot at making an actual robot arm.
Right?
So true. So yeah, as you can see, we go into more discussions about like, here's how we could apply them via snaps. Boot covers are one of the best things I'm going to ever introduce to you. Boot covers, you just take a normal pair of shoes, you use a duct tape pattern base. So basically what you do is you wrap your set, like your part of your body, with cling wrap. Or what do Americans call it?
Saran wrap.
Is it cling wrap for you guys? Saran wrap. So you wrap
Yeah.
yourself in that, and then you put duct tape over that part of the body. You draw out the specifics, like where you want your seam lines to go, like specific patterns, and then you cut that. And you have created a perfect pattern cast
I've
of that
seen
part of your
videos.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's trick to learn very early. And then you can make like fake boots using that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And so clever.
Yep, and they're
'Cause
perfectly
shoes are so
fit to your person.
expensive.
Right, yeah.
Oh god, yeah. And then when you're like having to manipulate them for a costume, it just gets pricier and pricier. So it's easier to just
Yeah.
make them yourself. So, with this knowledge I have given you all today, I have actually given you guys a task.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Right.
Let's do a breakdown of this design.
Oh, it's DS
Oh
design.
my God,
Nice.
huge.
Oh, cute.
So, remember, we do not think about the specific fabrics and how you will make it right away. This will lead to you getting ahead of yourself and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. For now, we're going to find the flow that works for y'all, and we're going to break down this costume. So can you guys tell me different design elements on this like how we do this as a costume?
Big hat.
Hat, yeah.
Okay, we got the hat. What else have we got?
Sunglasses.
Pink
The glasses. The glasses are easy, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
I probably have
So
those.
glasses,
The pink hair.
glasses,
with
pink
bangs.
hair.
Mm-mm.
Yep. Anything
The-
else?
The like dress, so it looks like she's got like the collar, which is like this attached to the rest of the dress. So that's all probably one piece.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
And
a
then
belt
on top of that, there's the belt,
Yeah.
which is probably separate and layered on top.
with a
Yeah.
And the
pouch.
bag,
And a
little
little
bag,
bag.
as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool jacket.
Yeah.
Cool jacket.
Gloves as well.
Gloves, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I already own fishnet, so this is perfect.
Yeah. A little like garter thing as well. That seems pretty
Mm.
easy to
Yeah.
replicate.
Also, it looks
Yep.
like the dress is like floofy outy, and I don't know anything about fabric or anything, but that's potentially
Yeah.
another piece underneath
Ooh,
it
like,
that makes
yeah.
it
Yeah,
floofy
it
outy.
looks like it
dress,
has like
Nice,
I think
yeah.
it's called an undercoat, like the little
Oh,
white
yeah,
bit that's
yeah.
coming out from under it. Yeah.
I would
So
believe that.
that would be
It's like
a
a tutu.
petticoat.
Oh,
Ah, yeah,
Petticoat.
that's it. That's it.
a checkered background as well.
Yeah, I need a
Okay,
green
okay.
screen for this cosplay.
The shoes.
And the
Also,
shoes.
I think I
yeah.
already own those as well.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
like
they're
a
pretty
little
basic.
bag on, or something, not bag, but like a strap and something on the thigh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
Yeah.
that is.
She's got a knife.
She's got a knife.
Yeah, it seems like a knife.
So perfect. Do you notice how you guys followed from top down?
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned.
listened.
We listened.
A really
We
smart
learned.
person taught me
So
to do
that's
that
really
today.
But do you notice how it gets a lot easier when you're able to section it out?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if I
So I
hadn't
tend
thought
to
to do
do-
that, I would have just like started in the middle and then like absolutely forgotten what things I had thought about
Yep.
already.
When I was in my earlier cosplay days, what I would do is I would like run a line from the bust, like from like the round here, and then I would break it down into threes and then do it from there. But after time, I can just work down from there.
Yeah.
Can I ask
It
the
saves
question?
you so much time. Absolutely.
What would you do if, like, so on this one, you can kind of tell it's a hat, but we don't like what the back of the hat looks like. What would you do in kind of situations like this where you don't have like a full reference? Would you just guess or?
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't have a full reference, you kind of have to just say, all right, fine. I'll do
Yeah.
it myself.
Fair.
Yeah,
And like use that interpretation of what kind of style the hat would be per the fashion that the character has. So you're not
Yeah.
going to give the character a witch hat if they have a very modern fashion aesthetic. They're probably just going to be a standard wide brim.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So we
yeah.
take the context of the character and build up from there.
Makes sense.
I guess like what physically makes sense as well, right? Like we can obviously tell that there's going to be
Yeah.
a back piece to the hat, so yeah.
It's
Yes.
actually like a visor that goes all the way around. There's no top of the hat.
Ah, right, okay. It's just
Well,
like for
that's
your bald spot at the back, right? Just so that gets
Yeah.
some air.
Yeah, there's also no hair on the back, incidentally.
Yeah.
It's purely ventilation focused. Just kidding.
I'm loving the another person to stand just belly in frame too, and I was like, okay, we're gonna pick someone.
Yeah, I need a friend for this cosplay, so I already can't do it. So
So yeah, as you can see, this is a breakdown from here. So we have other things such as the fact that this isn't just black fishnets.
Mhm.
There has to be tights with it to change the
Oh,
actual
true,
color of the
yeah.
legs.
Mhm.
To be able to get that level of shade, you're going to need about depending on the brand, 10 denier.
Mm. I was like tendonier.
Yeah.
What currency is that?
And there you go, petticoat slightly
Nice.
exposed
Yeah.
under the dress
Oh my
hemline.
God.
So
I'm a professional.
all
You
very
are.
messy.
You're ready.
There's like the white frills. So see how there's frills
Oh,
on
yeah.
the edge of the dress as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
And this is like very much so a different section in of itself. With the bow, there is this is my most I have beef with one specific, like as a cosplayer, I have beef with one thing, and it is the scallop edges on the neckline
Mhm.
at the like top. So do you see these?
Yeah.
At the very top here.
Uh-huh.
When I tell you that I had to make those a few times, and they will test your sanity because when you do a scallop edge, you have to put mini cuts into the fabric to let it actually like breathe and take that circular shape. So you have to sew it in, but you need those tiny little cuts in the fabric. So you need to be so careful
Oh my
with your
gosh.
scissors. And even then, you have to be extra careful so that when you iron it down, it is actually a circle and not a weird oval shape.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I'll never make it.
There
I'm
is
never
a-
careful with scissors.
Same.
Better run
know
to
what? You're
scissors.
I run with scissors.
There is a Love Live costume set for aquarium, like I think it's their aquarium fit.
Yeah,
Oh my god, there are so many scallop edges on that
Literally.
one.
Oh, no.
I was like sitting in a room with like 12 people making all of these costumes, and it got to the point for the scallops, and we were like, so who wants to do it for everyone? Because no one wants to do these. So yeah, that's how we do a breakdown from there. So recommendations. From there, we can start looking into what we're seeing in a bit more detail. So we've done our messy. We can then look through here. So wide brim felt hat, because we need that hat to hold itself. So this can be made using a foam pattern, because foam is going to be your best friend as a cosplayer, or a different fabric with interfacing to stabilize the fabric. From there, we can see it is an A-line dress where it hugs to the bust and then extends out from there
Cute.
with a square neckline. So best way to remember a dress
I finally
literally
know
has
what
the
they're
shape there.
called. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, just a square neckline is just for that top part. Now, what's important is don't be afraid to mash multiple patterns together to make your like mock-up. Because as you can see with these necklines, they don't include this white part here. So you need to be able to take from different elements and smash them in. And it'll take time, and you'll kind of like mess around with it a bit, but that's why we have multiple mock-ups, you know? That's why we keep building. From there, one of my biggest things that I will save you with is see these patterns here on the inside of the jacket. Quilted polyester is brilliant for the lining of the jacket, and it comes pre-done. You do not need to pre-pattern the fabric. So see this? This is exactly how it is. It's already got the like pattern into it.
Nice.
And instead of spending like 30 hours trying to find a similar to the pattern itself, Spoonflower lets you make the exact pattern on fabric. If you have an image of this pattern, you can upload it, pick the fabric, they screen print it for you.
That's so
that's
nice.
cool.
What?
Dang.
Because a pattern like that, I spent about 2.5 hours to see if I could find an exact, and I couldn't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I did not have the art skills to make that pattern
Yeah.
from scratch, so...
Yeah. So you can take that, upload it to Spoonflower, they'll then do it.
Hello, readers. Welcome aboard. We're learning about cosplay right now. Welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy Mary's presentation about how to do cosplay. Hope you had a great stream. Thank you so much.
Oh my god. From there, the rhinestones, you can get those very easily from like anywhere. I've pulled that image of the giant one from Amazon because it was like the first result, but they're every art store. They will exist in the large sizes. You just need to know where to look.
Makes sense.
For petticoats are really, really finicky to make. Always follow a guide. I have put my recommendation. I like for who I referenced for it. I can confirm I've made multiple petticoats using the guides from this cosplayer. They work brilliantly. They'll make you question every life choice that you have making a petticoat, but the results are always really nice. They bring a lot of shape and build to your cosplay. So if you need that like slight puffiness of the fabric, you wear a petticoat, you wear the fabric to like actual dress over the top, and it will give that like dimension. You can buy them, but if you're going for a I made the costume, this is a like thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel if I made one, I would just wear it all the time. Like even with like casual normal clothes, I would just put the petticoat under it.
I'd show up at the office like in a petticoat.
Literally.
It would be insufferable if I managed to make that.
I made one for a Daya cosplay that had glitter. When I tell you my sanity was running out so fast because of how much there is. It looks small. The amount of fabric that you need for one is terrifying.
Yeah, because it's so many layers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you're also having to like bias the edges of them. So as you can see, this like really pretty white edging, you have to do that for all of them too.
Oh my gosh.
And then here's the recommendation in terms of the stockings. So obviously we're not going to get that colored like by just wearing fishnets. As a dancer, this is my advice as a dancer. Put your fishnets on first and then the stockings next. It's going to prevent catching, and it'll make sure that it has that nice clean line.
Oh my god, that's
if you put the fishnets on second,
tip.
It's going to because like the second, like if you have it on without the like stockings on like second, you're also creating a like dipped edge on your body itself.
Yeah,
but underneath
I never thought about that.
Will make it more formed. We did it all the time for comps because you would find yourself getting caught on the most dumbest things.
Oh, that's such
So
good
saves you
advice.
struggles.
Honestly.
What can I say? I have over 10 years of learning. So, in conclusion, cosplay is an ever-changing art form. It'll take a while to learn, but it is so worth it once you take that first step. After you understand the basics, you can progress into learning things for competition etiquette if you're interested. That is its own kettle of fish. Performances and how cosplay and performances go hand in hand, cosplay modeling, and so much more. I do
Yeah.
also have some final tips from a cosplayer who has gone through it all. There is often a debate between fabric paint versus acrylic paint for painting fabrics. Fabric paint is expensive. Acrylic paint is cheap. But acrylic paint normally will crack on your costumes. What you need to do is buy your acrylic paint and a fabric medium. Water down your acrylics a little bit, add the medium, and you have saved yourself like $6 easily per paint.
Nice.
Work it in small layers instead of just going like thick, like dumping it all on. Work it slowly, build it up from there. I have competed in costumes where I have done entire fabric paints where they couldn't tell it was painted and they thought it was screen printed. That is my specialty. I do mostly fabric painting on my costumes. So this is my best advice I can give you.
Nice.
Interfacing is also your best friend. A lot of people don't really know what interfacing is. It's basically something you can sew in or iron on that holds and stabilizes costumes. So you know how there's like some cosplayers that have like gravity-defying fabric?
Mm-hmm.
They're either using foam as an insert or they're using interfacing. Don't be afraid to try something new. When you see a cosplay and you're following a tutorial and it tells you to do like this most insane thing, don't hesitate. Try it. Try the new technique. Try the new medium. You're going to have to keep trying things as a cosplayer. Otherwise, you're never going to develop. And then, instead of painting tattoos on your person, because I've seen people do this. I've done it before, where they will sit there and they will get like an eyeliner pen or like liquid eyeliner or black face paint, and they paint the like stuff all over their person. Buy DIY tattoo paper. It is a couple of dollars. You print the pattern onto it. You just do like the thing, you know, like you can get the little temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
When you're like a kid and you would use the water. You can make your own, put it on your person. And then from there, use a little bit of like makeup powder, like the foundation powder of your skin tone. It will make it a little bit more dull and like to look a bit more natural. And it'll get rid of the like sheen from it, so it'll help it blend in more.
Dang. Huge.
So that's a really good one.
Nice.
And you can make your own bias. So it's extra work, but it's going to save you so much money. There are little $25 kits of bias makers. You know, they're really pretty white edging on that petticoat. You can buy that pre-made for like a couple of dollars a meter. Or you can buy a $5 ribbon thing that's like 8 meters, and then use the bias maker to make it yourself. And instead of spending like $3-4 a meter, you spent like a significantly cheap amount to make the bias. You will save. So I saved over $200 on a cosplay by doing that.
Damn.
Dang. Okay.
Also, don't feel forced to follow cosplay trends. So cosplay at the moment is developing into very fast fashion. So a lot of people are cycling through cosplays very fast. Don't follow this trend. You will lead to burnout. It will get depressing. It's not a good time. Take cosplay at your own pace.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. And then cosplay is for all body types, all genders, and all ages. No one can tell you what to cosplay within reason. And you should not let the internet dictate your value in a costume.
True.
Yippee.
You shouldn't let the internet dictate your value in most things, but especially not this, yeah.
Correct. But yeah, that's it.
Yippee!
Do you have any questions?
Yippee!
I loved it. That was
Thank
so
you.
cool.
That was so cool,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I feel
I'm so sorry it was so
inspired.
educational.
No, this is
No, don't
very
be
interesting.
sorry.
We've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think
feel so
also like
inspired.
I like would have never I really liked the breakdown of kind of how to approach
Yeah.
creating a cosplay, because
Yeah.
I think like anytime I see cosplay it feels so like I can't even imagine how people do that.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
feel like
Yeah.
unreachable, yeah.
yeah, and like I know there are a lot like there are still so many cosplays that like are so wildly unreachable to me based on my skill set, and that's
Sure.
totally fine.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see that like actually there are things that I could do if I wanted to. And like
Yeah.
I don't know, like just having an opportunity to like look and break things down was so cool. Like that was really satisfying.
Seems much more like less daunting with some steps,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that whenever I tell people like I'm a cosplayer, they always turn around and they're like, "Oh, I've always wanted to cosplay, but I don't know where to start." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"You just start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up a pre-made. Just go out, put something on. Like it's all about taking that first step."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the first
I'm allowed
character you
to say that.
cosplayed?
Oh, okay. So the first character I ever cosplayed was Riska Circuit.
Oh, okay. Homestuck girl.
Yep, it was my first ever cosplay. But my second one to redeem myself was Tiny Tina from Borderlands.
Oh,
So,
nice.
like, I
Wow.
feel
That
like
one's nice.
I feel like that's my redemption there.
I love Borderlands cosplays. I love when they like outline themselves with like a marker or something, just to give it the same kind of cell shaded look that Borderlands has. I think that's so
I
cool.
have-
Oh, yeah.
I've done that for 2 out of 3 of my Borderland cosplays, and let me tell you, they drove me insane. But they
Oh
do
my
look really
gosh.
nice in photos.
Someone in my chat just said they want to cosplay, but they're way too old to do it. That's the whole point. You're not too old to do it, though.
Yeah,
You're
there's
never
no
too
such
old
thing.
to cosplay.
Yeah, no such thing. No such thing as being too old to cosplay.
Yeah.
One of the best things is when people embrace their age and they cosplay a character that's like an elderly character that you're never gonna see like younger people cosplay because they don't want to do
Yeah.
the
For
facial
sure, yeah.
prosthetics. Like embracing who you are as a person when you cosplay is so important.
I saw the sweetest cosplay dokumi. It was like a grandma, and they were there with like what I assume is like their granddaughter, and they were cosplaying old and young Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, cute. That's
It was
so cute.
love
so
stuff like
wholesome.
that.
I would
So
have
cute.
cried if I saw that. Oh my
Yeah, I was like, this is beautiful.
But yeah, I also apologize. If you do start cosplaying, it's going to be so expensive, and don't blame me.
So fair.
I have like a couple cosplays that like I've wanted to do for a few years, which I think are kind of low cost ones. But yeah, so like really inspired me to try it.
Yeah, same. This is really cool. Okay, I'm gonna hide your presentation so you can like close it if you want. Okay. Hello, Cyril. How are you doing? Okay, this was the last presentation. If you missed us at the beginning, please check the VOD so you can see everyone else because it was great. I do have awards for you. So, Bella, Mari, you have done these before, so you know about the awards.
Oh, yes.
Matcha, at the end of every PowerPoint presentation party, I give people awards.
Okay.
It's not competitive, don't worry. But it's just a fun little thing. Now, so our first award is for Matcha, which is award for best dance moves.
Huge.
Oh my god.
So
So-
true. So true.
So true. Thank you, Matcha, for promoting STEM with the power of dance.
I'd like to thank Yamashita Jiro, Maite Rui, and Hazuma Michio for inspiring me to study equals magic. Thank you.
I feel inspired. Next up for Bella, we have for most likely to transport large amounts of goods.
Yes. Oh my god.
So
So
thank
true.
you,
Yes.
Bella, for teaching us about an underrated type of train. No one ever thinks
So
of
true.
freight trains.
No one ever thinks of them.
Yeah,
No.
it's underrated. And last but not least, we have the award for most likely to help us win a competition. Future cosplay competition winners in chat. Thank you for getting
True.
us ready for our first cosplay.
Yay!
My god. Yippee.
Yes.
Yay! STEM as
Now
in,
make
like,
that
science.
cosplay.
Yeah.
You can teach us how to make our study equals magic cosplays, and I can teach you the dance moves. We can transport ourselves on a freight train
my
to
God.
get to the convention.
And I will
Wait,
like
oh,
help
it
you do
all
an
came full
illegal
circle.
presentation.
Yes.
yeah,
We can use those skills for our illegal
my God.
presentation of insert stolen IP musical here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, our Heather's musical.
Yes, our Jesus focused Heather's musical is going to have the best costuming and the best dance moves, and all of that is going to get to everywhere in the world.
Yes. And we will not forget about Jesus.
Study equals Jesus.
Study
truly.
equals Jesus. Oh. Preach.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's a concept. I agree. Thank you everyone for making it to this. It's sad that Fran and Nia couldn't make it today, but hopefully they'll join us soon. And
Thank you for hosting.
yeah, thank you for being here and for your amazing presentations. I will be pinging the group tomorrow about a project that is tangentially related to this. So yes, I'd love to have you for that.
I love a project.
A word for most likely to run an illegitimate production of a musical.
It's true.
We say that.
Yeah.
I was in a production of Into the Woods, and we almost got sued for
Oh my god.
playing with a reduced band and gender swapping some of the having male actors play female characters and vice versa.
What? That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're
it's
not allowed to do
dead.
that.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah,
You need
it's
to be educated about crossplay.
and I know. I know.
Yeah.
And also for not having a full
Word.
band. So we almost got sued.
That's crazy. How do they know it's
Oh
not
my
a full band?
God.
How do
Because-
they know the
Full
size of
to
your
whom?
band?
Because sometimes
Yeah.
people, the licenser, the people who do the licensing, will actually go to representations and check.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
God.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're very
Ugh.
strict with licensing.
Pretty intense.
What the hell?
Has no one ever heard of creativity?
Nope.
Right?
And-
Artistic
and,
liberty.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
Yes,
musicals?
exactly.
Nah.
Too casual. Casual
Okay.
crossplay. They didn't like that. They wanted just the true to life, most accurate classic cosplay.
The Texas Christian Church group who performed Scamilton would not stand for this.
Yeah. Neither would Jesus.
Neither
Yeah.
would Jesus. Jesus didn't die for this, guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
God.
Jesus died specifically so that we could put on illegal productions and take many creative liberties.
Of course.
It's actually
of course.
in the Bible
It is
that
Yeah.
we should perform
very famous.
Scamilton.
Very famous.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to
Yeah.
read out. But yeah,
Yay.
hopefully I can, hopefully you'll join me for one of these again soon.
Absolutely. It was nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was so nice learning from you all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we learned so much.
Yay.
Thank you so much. I'll jump off the call. And yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So much. Bye.
Oh my god, for a second, everything went fucky wacky. Yeah, everyone, that was the PowerPoint party. I hope you enjoyed. Yes, I'm gonna put myself here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you missed some, please check the VODs. This was the first time we've done one of these, so, oh, Daisy, you're scooping away. If you enjoyed it, please check out the other ones as well. Thank you for the follow, Miserial. Thank you. So sorry that I couldn't read your chat messages more. I did read them all. I just couldn't reply to all of them. But I hope you all had fun. And we'll definitely do one of these again. I am gonna find someone to raid. If you have a Guide the Raid card on Streamloots and want to play it, please play it now. Yeah, it's far less cursed. This one was actually much more reasonable, right? Even Nia was gonna do like a non-cursed one this time. I'll find someone to raid. Nia was gonna do the one about autism. Yeah. Don't worry if you are late, the VOD will be here for you on my YouTube. Okay, let me see you is live. Oh yes, Daisy, you're so cute, little Daisy, The last PowerPoint party. Honestly, I think my best presentation out of all four I did was what's it called? The plushie one. Sorry, I am finding someone to raid. Oh my god, the absolute silence is killing me. We could raid into Sagaki. She's actually live. Oh, I clicked it and it brought me to someone else entirely. What the hell? Here she is. You mean not Garfield? Yeah, legally distinct Garfield, of course. Let's raid Sagaki. The plushie one in Spidey. Sagi's playing Elden Ring, which is intense. Yeah, let's raid into her. She's a sweetie, an amazing singer. Such a sweetheart. I love her. Sagi is sweetest. Please go enjoy her stream. Tomorrow morning, I'm streaming at 11 a.m. UK time, which is in about 14 hours. I'm streaming Baldur's Gate 3 with my friend Sari, which is gonna be loads of fun. And please check out my Discord server if you wanna hang out some more. Got a Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and Spotify and YouTube for covers and all that stuff. Yeah, there you go. See you guys soon, and bye!